They can see us, they can hear us. At least I think they can.
Let's hope. Hello. If Colin did this correctly, you should be hearing welcome to our 20th part A session of Nat Disaster Heist. We're 7 sessions away, number-wise, Conlon, from catching up season 1. This is going to be around the same time. I'm so certain of that. But here we have a special session going on here as once again the party has split up to the point where we have to do 2 separate sessions in order to flush out everything, make sure we give everything the proper amount of time. But yeah, I am Brian Creevy. I'm the disaster master here. Thank you to Agent Cody for that name. And yeah, we're gonna be seeing what happens as Delsin goes to visit his family after a full year. Speaking of which, we'll start with him over there, the masked vigilante of Zista City.
What up, guys? I'm Andrew. I play Delsin Mardithas, aka the Shadow, Zista City's vigilante. He's a fighter, Echo Knight rogue, and it's been a little over a year since he's seen anyone from his family, so this is definitely going to be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting.
And then the other person who's joining us today is basically the star of this Heist show, the one we're all here together for. We have Colin, friendly.
Literally, we only did the heist because I wanted to play Rainn. I wanted to play a character, and I convinced Brian, hey, we should do this.
And then the pandemic hit, and then just like, we need more content.
I'm going to turn you down a little bit, Brian, on your thing in a second, but I'll do my intro first. I'm Conlon Rose. I play Rainn, last name redacted, in this heist season, since we're not calling it the heist campaign anymore, in this heist season. And she's quite excited to meet someone else in the upper class of Zista. Not like the upper class, but like part of the more important families that have more weight, as well as she's curious about the Mardithas since she's read about them in one of the books from the Galloways. So she's definitely curious in many ways.
We'll see what type of information is acquired, whether information more on Delsin's family and possible getting a ticket for the gala while going with his family. Maybe tie some strings together from the sense that we've had from the past sessions going on. Do you need to come to adjust my audio now, Conlon? It's going to be the perfect stream. And here he comes over here now. But yeah, we're here for another session. This one, like all the other split sessions, probably not going to be our longest ones. Hello, Ethan and Talia in the chat. Sorry, Ethan, last time we weren't being very vocal with you. I will try to keep an eye on the chat now so I can see what's going on. And anybody else who does join us with our 4 viewers. Right now, as I always say, we are at 42 followers on Twitch, so we're trying to get Twitch affiliate. If you have any friends who have Twitch or anybody who likes D&D podcasts or podcast streams, we do have a podcast.
That's later.
10 o'clock. 10:30.
Probably 10:30 if the session does till 9:30. We'll need a break.
We did this session much later than intended. It was originally 6, then 7, then 7:30 because today's been an interesting day.
Today's been helpful. We'll talk about during disaster cast.
So join in 10:30 disaster podcast. All of the content. Well, yeah. If you have going back to my original point, if you have any friends who like D&D streams, it's a homebrew campaign that I've created. This is actually our 3rd season. It's just season 3rd segment that we've done. You can check that out on YouTube, and that's to D&D for season 1. And this is Heist, which is a special season. And then our Humblewood mini series, which might blend into something bigger overall. I don't know. I'm a fan of multiverses. So
you definitely sound better now. I turned you down a little bit. I think you were just peaking a little too hard.
Well, we all know our audio is going to be absolutely disastrous in the disaster.
Oh, I'm about to turn during the disaster cast. I have to turn us down because we're really loud. Even when I walked in the room, your volume went up some. So then I think of it. Hopefully, it didn't turn you down too much when you like talk softly, like you did during Vicky's session. But I don't think you're gonna talk very softly this session, unless your female voices have to be done softly.
We'll figure it out.
I'm excited to hear Brian speak as a female for like a long time.
See, voices, headphones make it sound so weird. Like it's just, it feels like you're stuffy the entire time, so it feels like the voice you're doing is wrong. So hopefully I can hold it the whole time.
I understand. It's quite hard to do Rainn's voice when I'm wearing headphones.
Yeah.
I don't know how well I did. I can't tell.
But we'll figure that out in today's session of Net Disaster. So without any other announcements or anything else, let's let today's disaster unfold. Now, previously on Net Disaster Heist, you guys were at Normal Shop of Normal Things with the rest of the Lucky Sink. You guys had an interesting battle against a pie tyrant, something that none of you have ever seen before. And then finished off by linking up with Normal in her shop for some sales, as well as finding that items have been stored for you in this machine at some point addressed to you, whether from yourselves at a different time or for somebody else, or from somebody else for you. Not really sure, but they were in there recorded and stored for you at a later date.
And I almost counted everyone into the Astral Sea.
Yeah, we almost had that attack.
You did almost punch us all into the Astral Sea. That is correct, and I would have been a special level of angry.
Yeah, you guys got over to Paul's just for some snacks in between before you guys split the party. Delsin and everybody attuning to certain items and going over their inventory for normals. He put his Mobius quiver inside his bag holding, which I had to quickly decide whether that was something that would cause a gateway to the Astral Sea to open up. On the fly, I decided that when in hindsight afterwards, I said it probably. So I talked over with Andrew, and he said he wouldn't. He would not have put the movies into that holding. So retcon a little bit, but the story is still strange. He didn't have the to the Astral Sea and fucking have to try to find their way back to the material plane and how many days that is, because like an hour on the Astral Sea is a day in the material plane, so that could have been the end of the heist. But the timelines are aligned, and we are right at the point where the party does split up. Andy, Paul, Serenity, and Seabreeze traveling over to help Paul out on a little mission. While Rainn and Delsin head off in a different direction. They head up from Paul's house over in Haverwing's Edge and heading over towards Nature's Direction, trying to stop at Delsin's place to prepare for the dinner with his mother. And this is where our session begins. Now, you guys are walking through the streets. The rest of your party moved over to the side and is walking down the southern path, trying to get over towards the rising wave.
Oh, I was about to ask. I had a train of thought and I just lost it. I'm the worst person.
Right when the floor is given to you.
Yeah. Well, I was like, okay, I'm going to say this as soon as we start. And then the thought just immediately went away as soon as you're like, okay, you're good. And I'm like,
Do sponsor us.
Okay. I'm ready. Delsin, you do have a place to shower and get ready at your place.
I do.
Good.
I will continue leading Rainn through the streets to my vigilante abode.
Okay, so Rainn, he does lead you through, all the way through Haverwing's Edge, heading up over towards Nature's Direction, till you get over towards more the midsection of Nature's Direction, somewhat close to Divinity's Overlook, but also kind of in the center. And it's just some Average standard looking apartment. Nothing too distinct hanging from the windowsills. The shades drawn. Not much activity outside the building. The building surrounding it, you can see there are still people with little stalls and such, families walking around. But this one lone building, nothing.
Does it even look like there's anyone who lives there?
It doesn't look like anybody really lives here. Other than, I mean, it doesn't look like it's been abandoned. It just looks like there's not much going on. There's no real decorations like on the porch or anything. It's just a standard blank looking home.
But it's an apartment building, right?
Yes.
Delsin, do you own the apartment building or do you live in it?
I both.
You don't seem to be a very good landlord.
Wasn't trying to be. I like the solitude.
Yeah, but money's also good too. You'd have to do less stealing.
You may have a point, but I've been more focused on my nightly activities recently, and I haven't had much time to be a landlord.
Well, you're going to need to eventually work on that if your parents don't give you money back.
You're not wrong. I mean,
Dawson, shut up. I know.
the whole reason I'm doing this heist is because Vigilante's got to eat.
Yes.
Opens up his pouch of gold. Nothing inside.
There's literally, I am flat broke right now. There's literally nothing in there.
I'm not flat broke. I was able to negotiate, and I didn't spend that much money.
Delsin,
I will lead Rainn inside. Yeah, you see a pretty standard living space. I mean, you see a couch, a table, a kitchen.
So this is like a standard apartment on like the bottom floor.
Yes.
For the most part, barely even looks like decorated or anything. Just a standard, unsuspicious, not conspicuous at all.
And a bookcase. And a bookcase.
Rand's like, you do know it actually looks more suspicious when there's nothing here. Rain will go to the bookcase and start trying to pull books to see if it opens. Just to screw with you.
Delsin's eye will just start twitching.
She's like, oh, I'm getting closer. She'll stop after like one more just to be like... She's like, you should get some decorations. Then people won't look at the bookcase.
As I walk up to the bookcase and pull one of the side panels off the bookcase and then pull a switch and then the bookcase shifts. And then there is a passage down to my lair.
See just stone steps leading down every so often, like a little torch that's just like unlit down the path.
Then you see a lot of training equipment. You see, have you seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the conspiracy board?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one of those. I have one of those down there.
Oh, we both have conspiracy boards. Hers is more in her head and has less physical evidence.
Yeah, there's a desk there with a bunch of papers and just a bunch of research on all of the various corruption that is in Zista City. And you see a bed and...
So you don't... Yeah. You don't even sleep in the apartment?
No, I sleep down here.
You can even see side rooms where there's like a bathroom to shower and like stuff like that in the basement. That's been especially modified down here.
You need to get like a butler or someone living upstairs. It's suspicious when you have an empty apartment you walk in and out of that you have nothing in. You do know that, right?
There is stuff up there.
But no signs that anyone's ever lived in that space.
I'm working on it, okay?
I'm just telling you, eventually people are going to start looking for you, and that's where you're going to get found. When they walk into this empty-ass apartment. And go, huh, this is suspicious. It's the only apartment in the whole apartment building that has no one living in it.
I didn't know this was turning into a Delsin roast.
Rainn is being a little
I
mean, and
figured
but she's smiling while she's saying this. She's not trying to be insulting. She's just trying to be helpful.
I came here tonight to have fun, and I'm feeling really attacked right now.
Is that what Delsin says?
No, that was not in character.
But yeah, you see exercise equipment, especially you see that like bar raising one that you see all those like really decked out superhero vigilantes have and things like that.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a pretty simple living space underground, open flat put panel, and yeah, you can see there is a section where it gets put away and stuff like that to change, but everything is not really like necessarily in its own space covering and stuff. It's pretty open for whatever.
Okay. Rainn's gonna be like, "Do you mind if I go take a shower?" Or I don't know if showers are a thing. Context, whatever it is.
Do showers exist in your world?
Very rudimentary one because there is water distribution. There's limited amount of further outside the inner rings you are. I'd say when you got outside of your family, you had enough shares and money to get a decent apartment within nature's direction. So
also, you bought the building. You could have renovated it for water.
Yeah, you have told to take time the beginning of when you broke away from your family to craft underneath this apartment building. So you could have made it as you wished.
Yes. I feel like I would have renovated it so it did have running water.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason Rainn lives in her apartment is because it's one of the very few apartments on one of the outer rings that has water. She was on a wait list for that fucker.
Yeah.
It's one of the first ones to get it.
So Rainn, you go over to his shower. It's a pretty simple place. It's all black tile, black curtains.
Rainn recommends like, do you only work with black?
And sometimes very dark gray.
Thank you so much.
Which you look
That is the best Lego movie joke in the whole fucking film. It's like, I mean, all black pieces. I only work in black. And sometimes extremely dark gray.
Which you do see the dark gray bar of soap in the shower.
Even the soap.
She paid special amounts of money for that. Special charcoal soap.
Charcoal soap, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I need to get back in character because that was just a little too funny. Okay, Rainn's gonna go. I assume the door closes for the bathroom.
Yes.
And she's gonna close the door of the bathroom. She's gonna look through her stuff and be like, "Did I bring any toiletries with me?" Which I don't think
you didn't know you were gonna end up here.
No, I didn't, but I would say Rainn has some basic crap. Like some basic.
I feel like I would also have some basic crap in there as well.
Well, I know, but like Rainn,
like hotel shampoo,
the little bottles.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I sometimes bring a girl over. It's rare, but it happens. I would hope you keep the girl in the apartment, or else.
Yes. So Rainn, you have no problem cleaning yourself up.
Yeah, she's gonna take a shower and wash her hair.
Feeling out from the pie tyrant fight.
Yeah, take out the chunks of banana cream from your hair.
Yeah, whatever's left in her hair, she's gonna wash her hair.
It's honestly just when normal sucked up into that hole afterwards. All the actual physical material of that pie tyrant was sucked in. It's just the sticky feeling that's left.
Yeah, whatever way. She's gonna. How that would affect hair because you got cream in your hair.
Yep. But Delsin, while Rainn's showering, is there anything you're doing in your apartment? Anything you're getting or anything?
Anything you're hiding? To be like, wait.
Not really. I mean,
you're extremely trusting man.
I'm just. Yes.
Are you gonna change into a more formal fitting clothes and bring all of your items, or are you gonna shower after him?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys go through.
Rainn will shower quickly, so that way Delsin can take a shower and she'll do her hair somewhere else. I'm assuming there has to be another mirror in the place.
Yes, there is yes.
It's not one of those like long mirror on the walls for him to exercise.
I'm pretty sure like an entire wall of this room is a mirror.
Yeah, he's like.
All right, Rain, is there anything you search while Delsin is showering? Or are you just
Rain's
waiting
gonna
for him to
focus mainly on doing her hair,
I'm
but
gonna take a peek at my conspiracy board.
oh, she's definitely gonna start looking at the conspiracy wall. Now, like, she's so curious. She like now you're not in the room. She's really actually looking at, but she's trying to focus on doing like her braids. So every once in a while, she has to look away at the mirror to make sure she's not fucking up. But she's gonna be looking at the conspiracy wall. She's not gonna look at your notes yet, just to be polite. Because she knows she wouldn't want anyone looking at her manic notes, so she's not gonna look at your manic notes.
Yeah, you can see like just a bunch of different names. There's some Niauchi Care soldiers, some people, business owners, and things like that. Shots of drawn by Delsin, like with question marks on them for a name, things like that. Tied strings tied together. It
Are
doesn't
there
seem
really
like there's
bad
any like.
sketches of people's faces too?
Yeah.
Delsin, what's your performance modifier?
My performance modifier. Okay, give me a second.
I just want to know how generally good you are at performance type things like the arts.
Performance is +3.
They're decent. They're not like stick figure, but they're not fucking like consoles.
Not like okay. Okay.
They're not masterpieces, but you can make out some details. They're decent enough. It's like an amateur crime sketch.
Yeah, I assume like if they had like a scar, like that's probably the defining feature you've drawn, or if they have like a mole, you drew it to be like, yeah, you know that person, you know, or if they had like a tattoo or whatever that is defining. I'm sure that's what you drew more, and we're like, yeah, that's their face shape. I tried my best. It's a person.
Yeah. So everything goes. You guys both clean yourselves up. Delsin, you're out. How are you dressing? Are you going back in like your normal clothes, like your cloak, or are you trying to dress up a little formal?
I'm gonna dress up a little more formally. I'll still have my cloak on, but I won't have the hood up, and it's just gonna be its regular green color.
Okay.
And while Delsin was out of the room, Rain got into the dress that she keeps with her, which is a nice like silk cocktail dress.
Okay. So you get out of the shower breaks just in this like really pretty cocktail dress, just putting up a little bit.
She's finishing up her hair. You can see the heels set out. She has to do her makeup still.
Well, you look lovely.
Thank you.
Delsin, you have like a little bit formal on, so you have the cloak, a little formal underwear, so it's like a black, like somewhat suit with a gray vest up, something like that.
Yep. And under like I'll have I'm going to have could my quiver fit under the cloak?
If you positioned it, I mean, your arrows would be like, there's no buttons. Yeah, duh. So yeah, you need to have it under your cloak. Like it might protrude a little bit, but it won't be like standing out or anything. As if you have arrows completed at the back.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna all of my equipment other than the quiver is gonna go in the bag of holding.
Okay. Specifying not putting the quiver in there. Good.
Yeah.
Good. I will not hesitate next time to think you guys.
Yeah, so he has the bag of holding and a quiver.
Well, I feel like the bag of holding would be pretty easy to conceal under the cloak.
Yeah. Well, it just looks like a bag.
Yeah.
The rest of the group show up in the infinite rainbow later. Hey, where's Rainn and Delsin?
If you send us to Oblivion, Delsin, when I find you, I'm going to yell at you so much. We're going to get out, but I will scold you the entire time.
Well, if you're ready.
Rain's going to finish her makeup, and then, yes, she will be ready.
Yes.
And she's just going to bring her bag because she's not leaving it.
No, I gotcha. While she's doing that, Delsin is just going to take a long look at that board and just take a deep sigh.
There's one circle one being where you can see all your notes for what you feel like you've been trying to figure out with your father, like what his connection to that place. And again, you see that name that I was saying with the Tatillia family. And there's big
You seem
arrows
like they're
in several
broken.
different directions. There's one blacked out face with a question mark. And that's supposed to be the person that that you almost captured that night before seeing your family's crest and letting him escape away.
Okay.
You guys all finish up. Delsin, you go back upstairs and with Rainn in tow, sealing off your lair once more, making it look not suspicious whatsoever. This apartment building. You guys take to the if there's anything you guys want to discuss while you're walking there, or just head straight over to the Mardithas family. It's probably
There is something I
from
do
where
want to
Delsin
discuss.
is. If you go directly from Delsin's to the Mardithas family, it'll probably just a walking pace. It'll probably take just under an hour to a little over an hour.
Okay.
And Delsin, just so you know what the dress looks like, that's what it looks like.
I like it. Did you do that in The Sims?
Yeah, that's all I got, okay? I don't got any other software to use.
It's okay. I like it.
I was like, you need to know, just so that way you're aware. Okay, so as we're walking, give me a sec. I'm choking to death on my own spit.
Don't do that.
It happens all the time.
I too forget how to swallow sometimes.
It sucks, right? Like when your body's like, breathing, man, that's hard.
One things we're supposed to be good at.
Yeah. Rainn is going to ask you, how would you like to play this?
Well, I still don't know if my mother was involved with anything that happened. And I was always fond of her. So
kindness at first?
until she gives us a reason to be anything otherwise.
Okay. Other curiosity is, do we play just friend, boyfriend, girlfriend? There's multiple different ways we can play this. You have not seen your mother in a year. Lots can change. Your choice, Delsin.
Just a friend for now.
Okay. Oh man, you took the whole fun bit away.
Well, I mean, we can if you want. I
do not care. It would be funny as hell, though. I don't know enough about. Rainn's like, I don't know. You're gonna have to start spilling beans about yourself, or else it will be very hard.
Well, you already know most. I was a guard before all of this. After that night, I couldn't stomach it anymore.
And now you fight for justice.
I do. Try to, anyway.
Well, let's hope one day it reaches some kind of pinnacle.
Hopefully.
People keep speaking about times changing or whatnot. Maybe we can make times change for Zista.
Hopefully.
Though I think it'll take a while.
I need to right my family's wrongs.
You will.
Anyway.
I think you'll make your family name proud again, Delsin.
One can hope.
I hope so.
What about you?
What about me?
I remember you saying that the luxury of the liberators.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about this yet.
You said it reminded you of home.
I said same when you said it reminded you of home, but yes. You're not wrong. I wasn't born the street rat you've met.
Wouldn't call you a street rat, but go on.
If you've known my whole life, you would call me a street rat. I would call me a street rat. I was born Literally silver spoon in hand. From some of the stuff I put together, I'm not sure where I lived, where I came from, though the recent interaction with misfortune has brought up some curiosity. When she said where I was standing, which was on a house somewhere in the New Blood region of the suspended superiority, was somewhere lost in my dreams or my mind. She said it was my lost world.
Okay.
So there's a very big possibility I grew up in suspended superiority. That doesn't.
Your family wasn't even there. Your family was in Divinity's Overlook.
Yeah, that means I grew up a whole level above you.
That is richer than even my blood.
It's richer than most blood.
So what happened?
You're gonna see Rainn kind of shrink a little bit. For
You
someone
don't
who's
have
usually
to.
pretty confident.
You don't have to say any more if you don't want to. I understand.
She's gonna touch your shoulder and be like, of all the people in this group that deserve to know, I'll tell you, Delsin. When I was very little, sorry, this is how Rainn would do it. I have to act.
I imagine you probably stopped walking for a second.
Oh, Rainn will pause. She's stopped walking and she's because this is a lot of must around. She doesn't talk about this. It's a repressed memory that she's very aware is there.
You see horses pulling carriages going by, so nobody's too close. The street's pretty wide, so you move to the side and you're pretty alone.
When I was a little girl, I was born, apparently, in suspended superiority to two very nice parents who loved me very dearly. I remember reading lots of books when I grew up, learning a couple languages. That's why I can speak 3, languages natively with multiple accents. I just grew up learning them. And I'm not sure what my parents did for a living. I was too young to know that yet. I was too young to know the family business, the family name, even. But one day, I remember my parents going to a party. I know other stuff happened that night, but I don't remember them. And they never came back. I vaguely remember going to the guard station at the guard station we went to.
Miauchicare Armory and Transfers.
Yeah, the Armory and Transfer Station. Being brought into one of the back rooms. At least I think it was. I don't know. I was 4.5-ish. I don't know. 4 or 5. It's hard to tell when you're that little. I remember being told that my parents were murdered.
I'm sorry.
And after that, I went to an orphanage, and it all kind of fell apart from there.
I am sorry.
It's okay. One day, the people who killed my parents will see justice. One day, I will claim what is supposed to be mine. That's why seeing the Queen the other day, it made me begin to remember. I'm not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to be stealing things. I'm not supposed to be a criminal that I've spent the past 20 years of my life being. It's not where I'm supposed to be.
I know how you feel.
But that's okay. We'll get through this stupid heist, get our money, go in for information we can on Daihanata and our people who have hired us. We'll get that to people who can use it against them to help keep this city safe.
And that we can agree.
And then, for me at least, I have a lot of work to do and stuff.
You know that I do.
Yes, but I think I might want you involved in it. I just haven't figured out the points yet.
Well, any way I can help. This city, the corruption runs deep.
Yes, and it needs to change. It must be rooted out.
I don't think any one of us can do it alone.
No, it's a very long process. We'll see what we can do to save Zista. The people need us to. Because they can't defend themselves. But we might just have enough power to. Of course, we're potentially at a time. We're now walking by this point. Rainn would begin walking.
Yes.
Rainn would be like, of course, it seems, based on the information that we've gotten the past couple of days, some of that I've gotten, some that we've been together gotten, there's a potential Zista might be on a multi-fronted war soon.
That's very true.
With the further corruption getting worse, it's going to cause more of the Dyes and lords and dukes to start fighting it out for power. You have those two criminal parties under Zista beginning to start a war that may bring up to the surface. And I keep hearing things about stuff changing that I haven't fully figured out. And it makes me very curious. When I was a little girl, I do remember a story. And actually, Rainn takes out her bag and she holds out the book.
Okay.
You can read the cover of the book. It's in Elven. I don't know. Brian, we need to quickly make up the name of this book that we didn't talk about earlier. Because we didn't have time.
It can be the Legend of Time's Alignment. It's
Yeah.
basically telling the story.
Okay, to me, the Legends of Time Alignment, Tales from Nyra's Grove.
From the one. Okay.
Because the specific people who wrote it are from Nyra's Grove, or whole tales have been brought to the Grove.
Mm-hmm.
And Rainn's like, I read this book. Well, not this one. This one's one I stole. Sorry, I'm still a terrible person. He's like,
serious moment, be like, yeah, I'm still a rogue. Yes, shut up.
Maybe like, it tells a story of time's alignment and how time began, and definitely not all the specifics because I'm sure it's missing bits. It's stories from people who lived in the Grove during that time and then told their stories to people who wrote it down. So I'm sure it's missing lots of information. Who knows how much is fiction and how much is actually truth.
It also was a children's tale version of it. So.
Yeah, it's like a young child book. It's like for 6 to 10, like that age.
I imagine very advanced version of Magic Treehouse.
Yeah, it's like a weird Magic Yeah, it's great description, Brian. It's like a weird Magic Treehouse-esque collection of stories.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, so admittedly, they're made for children, so they're definitely not perfect. But a lot of things that are happening, they didn't happen in the stories, but are weirdly lining up. Things got a lot worse for society during the time that the 1 Second War happened. From what I remember, I have to reread the book. I haven't read it in, I don't know, probably 10 years. But I remember lots more chaos happening, and we're seeing a lot more chaos. And I worry that those times are coming again. And Zista will be in danger. The whole kingdom.
If you are correct, we certainly have our work cut out for us.
Yes, a corrupt system, warlords, criminal masterminds trying to take the city over. And just 2 of us against them all, I guess. I'm sure we'll find allies over time. But this is going to be a long one. So I think the world falling apart is more of a solve that first. If the world dies, all of our stop of corruptions for naught.
I smell a crossover episode.
Setting up things for the future, maybe. Oh god, don't make me and Andrew both play two characters. That would be hard.
Anyway, one thing at a time. First, let's deal with my family.
Oh, do you have any questions for Rainn about her sending a letter to Misfortune? Because you're one of the only two people who heard that.
Oh, right. You're
Because
right.
you heard that, and Andy heard that, and Andy's like, huh?
So,
Colin's like, this is the time to talk about this.
Yeah, we're not gonna get
Yeah.
any other chance, I guarantee, for us to not be interrupted by the rest of the party.
Only Rainn and Delsin.
you sent a letter to Misfortune.
Yes,
What did you say?
I sent some of the vital information from that notebook we gave to the Baroness. I think that woman should be arrested. I think she's a danger, so I sent it to Misfortune, thinking, A, maybe Misfortune will understand that what I do is for the betterment of our city. She claimed that her purpose is to protect the Queen and the city. So I gave her someone who may be a danger to both the Queen and the city. To eliminate them.
Okay.
Misfortune is aware of what we're doing. Not the entirety of it.
Well,
but
she hasn't stopped us yet.
The worry is when. It's inevitable. I think she's definitely keeping an eye on us.
I think she'll definitely be at the gala.
She will. And we need to figure out. I'm unsure how reined in she is by her mentor. And if she's acting alone or for the kingdom.
And who was her mentor again?
I don't
They
remember.
mentioned if one of the Turks is 6. You guys have the name.
Yeah, we have the name because it said during the ceremony, and both me and Delsin were very much paying attention during that.
She's getting mentored by the eldest of the Turks is 7. Its name, the name is Eternal Chuckle.
It is what?
Something.
Eternal Chuckle.
Eternal Chuckle. Okay.
Eternal Chuckle?
Yep.
Here, they're all jesters.
They look like jesters. They're designed to be bodyguards.
They're all different colored jesters, like the fools, like with like the bells on the hat kind of thing.
You just want to.
What is that group's name?
Turkisis.
Turkisis 7.
Now it used to be Turkisis 6.
It was Turkisis 6, but the meeting that you guys saw where the Queen was announcing Misfortune officially changed them to Turkisis 7.
Okay.
And that's how Rainn mentions it. She's like, I do not know if Misfortune is working on her own to prove herself or directly for them, which is a worry. But she isn't in with the Queen, which is a good thing. I'm unsure how benevolent Queen Kittery is. My interactions with her in my life have been, you were there at the Ethereum. And Rainn kind of pauses for a second, kind of like looking away. Like someone who's deep in like their memories and be like, and I remember meeting her when I was little. But I do not remember the context. Now doesn't.
You encountered her when you were young?
When I was still wealthy. At least I believe that was when it was. That's what makes the most sense. That was the last time I saw her. Before Ethereum, which is probably what sparked some of these memories. And Misfortune fucking with my brain. That also didn't help. I'm still salty about that with her, because we could have just had a normal conversation with like normal people, but she had to be all fucking goddamn extra.
Are you prepared to deal with her if she becomes an issue?
Misfortune or the Queen?
Misfortune.
I'd rather.
And the Queen.
Rainn's gonna pause and be like,
you guys look around.
Yeah, he's looking around too. And Rainn's gonna switch to Elven Thieves Cat.
I would assume we're talking quietly anyway.
Oh, we are. Rainn's switching languages.
All I'm just saying is make sure you just look around cautiously, make sure nobody's hearing.
Yeah, no, we're gonna roll to see. Listening directly to our conversation.
Roll perception check.
Ooh, that's good.
I rolled a good one too.
It helps if I open my character sheet instead of just closing it.
I rolled a dirty 20.
I rolled an 18.
18 and 30, 20. Nobody appears to be listening in on your conversation. You do see guards walking by, but having idle conversations themselves, they don't really like turn and pay you much mind. You look at the rooftops and you see figures running by, but none that catch your eye as looking down at you.
Just us spotting the normal rogues running up across the buildings. Be like, oh, okay, good job.
Good job, rookies.
Yeah, rookies, we can see you. So Rainn's gonna switch to Elven Thieves' Cant, so that way it's a little harder for someone else while we're listening in. And be like, if we have to, we must. Then yes, but I'd rather not get rid of Misfortune. I think she can be an asset. If the Queen must be removed, I think that's a long-term problem.
Yes, but I think it's preferable if we can do this heist without leaving any bodies behind.
If we leave bodies behind, there'll be the others. There's a possibility, Delsin. Rainn's gonna get real serious for a sec. Like, there's a possibility, Delsin, that we are going to have to sell out some of our party mates.
You think so?
If this begins to blow up, if they start looking for us, I hate to say this about other people, but we are more important than Serenity or Paul or Whisper. Two of them are dangerous to the city. One is a basic whore and nothing to sell down her profession. It's a real job, but it's not like she's going to save the city. Fucking everything.
You have a point. I think
I'd rather not have to do that. I'd rather have allies and almost friends.
Agree. And I think Paul needs to be closely watched.
Yes.
I'm very
concerned about his patron.
I agree. I think he is being misled.
I know he's being misled. People don't just want nothing for nothing.
And I think Wind Whisper has a good heart.
I don't think his soul is evil, but sure as hell
his patron definitely is.
Which worries me, which makes me believe they might be both dangerous to our city. Danger to the future, what this kingdom might be. If we have to sell them out, we do it.
So be it. But we will cross that bridge when we come to it.
I concur. But I'm trying to tell you, I'm not going to sell you out. Rainn's going to look you very deep, like directly in the eyes. I am not going to sell you out. We both have a purpose here.
I'm gonna hold out my arm. We're gonna do one of those like medieval handshakes.
Oh yeah, like literally like we did when we both shot the arrows and both like nailed it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We both have a future here.
Well,
are we almost there, Brian? Your choice to end this conversation. Rainn's gonna be pretty stoic at this point.
Yeah.
So the sun is coming and getting close to setting over the western side. It's past the buildings and where you guys can see them right now as you're walking around the ring, moving more towards the eastern section of Divinity's Overlook, where Mardithas family household is. It's getting pretty late. You can see the presence on the road start to dwindle a little bit. Some places are starting to close up for the day, taking their wares inside. A lot less busy than the streets last night, but as you guys do round the corner and you guys get to almost the direct center of the eastern part of the circle of Divinity's Overlook, Delsin, you can see a familiar bronze flag hanging off to the side of the door with a vase-shaped family crest of the Mardithas on the center. You can see these brick steps that build up to the actual door itself with two white birch pillars on either side. The door is stark white, and you can see there is a black stonework built around the house at the bottom layer, but it builds bricks all the way up to the top, with a single glass window on the sides, but on the one on the left, it rounds the corner as it does connect to your neighbor's house as well. Looking inside there, you do know that room is where you used to train, the study room with your father, and you practice your skills, and you can see the familiar dark, short hair of what you know is your sister, just staring out, playing a violin and looking at a mirror over the side. She's not facing outside, but you can see her inside.
We're just gonna take a deep breath.
Rainn's gonna grab your arm, the reassuring
Okay.
kind of, yeah, I'm the gesture,
Yeah.
the movie gesture. You got this.
Nelson's just gonna whisper to himself, "Welcome home," and I will walk towards the front door.
At the front door, you can see this is the first time this is being mentioned, but this is something that you guys do know a lot of the households and divinities overlook. Even one since it's been a superiority, but you guys don't have too much experience over there, to your knowledge. They have something. There is a corporation called Cantrip's Creation. It's an artificer a corporation, and they have something called a door spell that is on the side of the door. Basically, it's a doorbell, but when you press the button, it's the thaumaturgy spell goes off throughout the house to let somebody know that you're there. You can see that to the side of the door.
Okay.
You press the button, you can hear the dinging of the actual thaumaturgy spell go off and ring within the household a few times with ding, 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 one of those long doorbell sounds. A few moments later, you guys hear a zip to the door, and you hear the little unlatch that opens up. And you guys can see the similar quickling that you had summoned before, which I've officially dubbed him. You know him. His name is Bartholomew.
Bartholomew.
I hate
Yep.
it. I love it so much.
He's wearing. He's got that tuxedo. He's got that one monocle on. It's got the hair that slicks back on his body.
Oh, I'm
black,
imagining
or
him, and he
by his
looks so stupidly adorable.
Evening, Bartholomew.
Sorry. Master Delsin.
Wait, did we make the decision on the fake dating or not?
Yes, we are.
We are fake dating? Okay.
Yes.
Then Rainn will hold your arm like
Okay.
a girlfriend would.
Okay.
Because she's like, and she's going to whisper in Thieves' Cant to you, well, I guess the game begins.
Indeed.
Please come in.
And she'll begin the beaming smile.
You can see the first entrance room, the Genkin of this household. We've looked into a little bit of different style homes to come up with this. You guys have a Genkin in the front area where there's an area where you can take the shoes and your shoes are lined on the floor. For the most part, this section is a white, silent, hollow wooden floor. With a black stone that goes up to the actual level layer of that house itself. Around, you can see it even is carved as well with that black marble on the bottom and then white solid hollow wood surrounding the entryway itself. Curved in designs that almost look like forest elegant kind of designs. There definitely has been some work done on here, and pillars both right in the corners, in the two corners before it separates to the study room on the left and over to the living room on the right. And a few moments later, you can hear footsteps coming in from the study room on the side. And you end up seeing the upper-colored haired visage of your mother. A little bit, you see wrinkles down her face a little bit, but for the most part, pretty up in a way. She's got makeup a lot on her face, and she's wearing a pretty elegant dress, almost like a homestead gown. And she walks in, she's like, Delsin, my sweet. Oh, you made it. And she looks at Rainn for a second and be like, oh.
Hi, Mom.
This would be when you intro, this is my girlfriend, Rainn.
This is Rainn, my partner.
That works.
Well, and she kind of looks
I
at
don't
your
know. I
body.
just feel like that's the language Delsin would use.
Yeah, no, that's fucking non-commit to girlfriend.
You can see that your mother starts looking at Rainn intently, like her eyes are moving wildly, and Rainn, you can tell she's looking around the scars that are all across your face.
Rainn's just gonna give her a very polite smile, especially because what she's doing is very not polite. So Rainn's
She's
gonna
like,
try and play down how absolutely annoyed she is that she's being stared at like that.
How do you do? My name is Tatillia Mardithas. I'm his mother, and she extends a hand out to you.
Rainn takes her hand and shakes it very politely. And gives a gentle, like, slight bow, I guess. Like, what would be I assume would be slightly respectful to someone who's meeting someone's mother. I don't know. Especially in a medieval society. Oh my god, my stupid fucking candle won't light. I'm sorry I'm being distracted by my candle not lighting. It's really pissing me off.
It's okay. I will give my mother a hug.
And she releases Rainn's hand. She just turns and she does give you a hug, just like, it's good to have you home, my dear.
It's been a long time.
Well, we have a lot of things to discuss.
Is Dad home?
Your father is meeting right now. You will not
What
be attending.
you cut out there? What was that?
He has a business meeting.
Your father has a business meeting tonight. He will not be attending.
Rainn's head. Good. I kind of want to kill the guy. Good.
Please, you sisters, practice for a little bit. Let's go outside. Bartholomew, can you prepare the meal? And he's just like, yes. Just sneaks through the house, running off to it, taking a shortcut through the study room. And Cecilia's just like, follow me. And she starts walking towards, taking the path into the living room. You guys follow behind. As you guys do get over into the living room space, Delsin, you can take a look to your left really quickly as you're passing by. And you can see that same study room that you used to train for so often. You know that there's a corner you can't see where there's a bunch of books, and your father's desk used to be there as he would be doing business and watching over your training. And instead, you see the whole area has basically been redecorated in a way. It looks like it's more geared for the arts now. There's some painting easels set up.
Oh, they don't give a
There's some
shit about you
chairs
anymore.
made of pottery. You can see your sister, who is just sitting
Wait,
over
that was my
far
room?
into the room. That was
his-
your room, but that was your study room where you were able to train that in the day, and your father can watch over your training. You can
Now he's
see
watching
your
over your
sister sitting
sister's
at the end of the
training.
room, in front of a mirror, and she's just playing the violin. You can hear the soft music playing echoing throughout. But your mother moves over into the living room, and this is a familiar sight for you. But Rainn, it's quite an interesting sight as
It's
what
a
you
completely
see
new sight.
what you do see inside there. The living room is almost like it's a giant conversation pit itself. You've seen that this is kind of like the thing on richer societies nowadays, having the conversation pit, except this one is actually decorated to not just look like a home. It looks like you're in an actual hillside itself. You can see that there is almost like in the center of the room, there's almost like a rock form building up where you can see an actual in-home fire pit, and there's an actual chamber that leads above itself for the smoke to carry out. There's basically rock walls that do line each side, and there's a small river of water that trickles through around the way, coming from a waterfall that's coming off of a rock incline up at the opposite end of the room. You can see staircases off to the side that do lead upstairs.
Fancy.
And you can see carved into the side of every single wall. You can see there is, it's basically made to sit down. That's the conversation seating, where you can see a lot of cushions put into there to actually make it comfortable seating. There's some in front of the rock structure where the fire pit is as well, and small little islands that do have white barked trees growing out of the area itself. And my mother directly walks down there and passes through. You guys pass by on the left side, and as you're passing through, you can see on the left wall, there's a section where the seating itself is broken for a second, and there's an indentation where inside there you guys can see the similar. You can see a similar symbol that you all know is the one of the awakened few, the 9 gods that have been awakened as the originals in Tide Wars. Um, around in all 9 of their symbols around, with just something at the bottom as well too that just seemed out of place.
And this is what is this?
This is inside your living room. There's a section of the wall cut out where there seemed like almost like a shrine to the awakened few gods. You can see the same symbol, the circle symbol, where it shows all of the individual 9 awakened few gods symbols around. And from this distance, you see something at the bottom as well too, but it's hard to make out. But the mother does keep on continuing you guys through the living
Can
room.
I look a little harder as we walk past since it looks odd?
You can roll a quick perception check. It's a quick glance, so it's somewhat
Oh wow, that's an unnatural 20.
Okay.
Okay, that die is staying. It keeps rolling high. There's not a lot of dice rolls in this.
So that actually was the DC that you needed to get to see what this is properly. What you do see is at the bottom. So you see all the other similar 9 symbols that you do know all the way around the circle. But at the bottom, there seems to be a smaller carpet. It's not as big as the other ones. But what it does appear to be is it looks like a studded lock with a question mark keyhole.
Have I seen the symbol before?
That is one that you have not seen, but it was described to you by your teammates who got trapped on the inside of the
You're
eyeball.
correct. Okay. Rainn's gonna be like, in her brain, she's gonna not mention it out loud to Delsin yet. It'll be something she'll mention later, but she'll be like taking notes on that.
Also, as we've been moving through the house,
Mhm.
Delsin would have been just eyeing and trying to plan out how easy it would be and what ways you could break into this home.
It's your own house.
Hey, you got the truth.
Admittedly, Rainn's probably planning an escape route too, because she's like, this might end badly.
So you know that both Eastern and, well, technically, because the house is Eastern, it's technically the northern and the southern walls of the house itself. Though these are very suburban style houses in the way they are laid out, the houses are touched, connected like apartment buildings with a long backyard. So you do know that the windows on both the northern and the southern side, there are no windows, it's just walls, which you do see and decorated to look almost like the landscape of the Duress Forest in the distance, with the Blood Ashen Peaks off in the distance as well. But from the other side, it does seem like it's partially on one side the Duress province, and then the province that's beyond the Blood Ashen Peaks. With your staircase that leads up to where your and your sister's room used to be. The only from this room to live in, the only breachable areas are the 2 windows on the eastern side that lead out towards the street, and then there's one final door on the western side where it leads over to the dining area, which your mother does walk you guys up that section. As you are walking around the almost concave area of the conversation pit, you get to that corner. And there is a staircase built into it that leads to a door going to the dining area. While you're there, this room is almost completely enclosed, other than tiny slit windows at the rear that lead out to the rear of the household. You can see the table itself is carved with really fine shade shower forest wood. In a similar, it's from the southeast, Delsin, obviously, because it's your table. But
Because it's
Rainn,
your table.
you are able to recognize the southeast work, as all 4 of the table legs have a dragoness signature into them, carved into the actual work itself. It's got almost silverware laid out on the table itself, and you can see portraits of different family members drawn around the room, including one that does seem to have Cecilia Mardithas, that small girl that you're seeing playing violin in the corner, a younger version of Delsin, then an older man with gray and white hairs, standing behind Delsin, drawn together. The family. She leads you outside through the back door, and you can see the outside yard of the Mardithas family. As you're looking over here, you can see there is a porch above from where you guys are, and a staircase to the immediate right side that leads up to there to get to part of the second floor. You can see a pathway that leads out towards a medium-sized glass building gazebo up on top of a hill. Directly in front of you, you can see a pond in the grassy land, but this actual room is strange. You're in the city, Rain, but it's like a grassy backyard, almost like as if you were in a field.
It's
And
very
there's a
yeah. It's one of
pond
those
there.
we very rarely we see. I would see something that seems like it's almost in the woods. This
Yeah,
is
you
in
can
the
see
woods
a
as
pond.
Rain's ever been.
You can see a pond with actually a rock jutting out of it, spewing some water through a waterfall, pumping into that area, and it seems like it goes out a little bit more on the backside. Some white birch silent hollow trees around, and that's what you can see from this angle. And Cecilia leads you forward, just like, this way, Bartholomew, you should have the first floor stout ready for us. And she leads you up towards the glass gazebo. She holds the door open for you both to head inside.
Gazebo.
And you can see as she opens it up, there is a somewhat large circular table in this room that does have a parasol held up. It's closed currently at this time. You can see lined around the table, you can see a salad, you can see bread, elven bread prepared. You can see all sorts of soups that are sorted on the table as well. And Bartholomew kind of like was setting it up and then just runs off outside the opposite end. She's like, take your seats. You feel free to help yourselves. Delsin, I hope you still have minutes after this year.
Freaking hell!
You think so
Rain's
little?
You might. She might even catch on Rain's face of, "Whoa, that was a little rude."
You think so little of me, mother.
I just hope your age hasn't doubled. It's been a while since you've been part of this family. I hope you haven't picked up any of the traditions of some of the lesser race.
Rain's both insulted and uninsulted. She's like, "I'm both above this and below it. How rude! How do you guys insult me twice in one sentence?"
Delsin will just shrug off her condescendingness towards the poor and just kind of breeze past that one and not comment on it.
Rain's gonna follow your lead just because she's like, "Okay, we're not gonna play the game right now. We're not gonna play." In her head, she's like repeating, "No game yet. No game yet."
So you take your seat and you guys start taking some meals. Your mother sits direct opposite of you on this table, Rainier to the side, so she can speak across to you all. And she's like, it's good to have you back where you belong, Delsin. We have missed you in this time being here. So the house has been a little bit empty without you.
Well,
Delsin said, "Mine hasn't."
well, I do have to say I have missed being home, but there is a reason I left.
Oh wow, we're getting into this real fast. You're not even like playing the just ask some other questions first. You're just like, "There's a reason I left."
I actually wasn't going to dig further into that. I was just kind of leave it there.
Okay, but that was fast.
Like, yes, I know you're quarrel with your father, but that's something we need to get past. There's things that are more important with the family going on. Like I said, we need you to come back. It's been long enough that you've been here. That's why I'm so glad you have accepted my invitation to.
I don't know if I'm going to come home yet.
Rain whispers slightly to Delsin, "Also free food."
I just wanted to at least have a conversation.
Of course, we need to discuss some things that are going on, especially the gala that is coming up. We would very much like for you to be in attendance with us.
Okay.
Back is hard.
This is something where we need our image to be perfect, and you being away is not going to be helping out the Mardithas Manor, which is the name of your antique business, the Mardithas Montiques.
I assume Dad is gonna be there.
Yes, your father will be in attendance, as well as your sister as well. She's got them quite some time in your absence away. Father has needed someone to keep up a good name and reputation around the city beyond our business. So your sister has kind of needed to step up a little bit in your hands.
Well,
Karina has been working hard to actually create a style for herself and find enjoyment in the arts, both in music and also in some of her paintings and pottery making herself. She's becoming part of the business.
and this is my sister you're talking about.
Kalina, yes.
Kalia. Okay.
Kalina.
Kalina. Okay. Where is she? I
You saw her.
missed her.
You literally walked past your
Well-
sister. You walked past
Wait.
and saw her
Did
playing
I-
violin in the other room.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No one?
I'm just gonna tell you that before you go any further, just so you know. You literally saw your sister playing violin.
I thought we had just seen her as before we walked in through the window. I must have missed that. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No worries. So we wreck on what you said. So she says that about your sister stepping up.
Oh. I needed to be on my own for a while. I felt I couldn't stay.
Yes, we all feel at some point smothered by everything up here, but this is something important, especially with where your family is going in the direction right now. It's the reason we need you here. We have the potential to become part of the chosen few to acquire suspension very soon.
Say that one more time. What was that?
We have the potential to become part of the chosen few to acquire suspension very soon, which is basically saying there's possibility of you guys,
You'll be in the new blood housing.
Mardithas family, getting into the new blood housing of suspended superiority.
Rainn does kind of make kind of a ooh gesture, because I can't be non-reactive towards this. How curious.
Yes, the Mardithas family is, and she looks at you, Rainn. The Mardithas family is up and coming, and we need our son to be with his family and taking back his role as in higher society. We don't need anyone rebelling anymore.
Okay, Rainn is gonna respond for you in a slightly rude manner. Like, oh crap, I just had it. Rainn is Delsin's doing quite a good job being up and coming all on his own.
I haven't agreed to anything, Mother.
But I know how much you always cared for justice within this city. Why you were part of the Nialchi pair guard for such a long time. And you know that they do miss you. You were with the best. You always had dreams of a national knight for one of the dukes or duchesses. It's not too late for them. This could be your in to get them into that. To reclaim your position within society. At this time, Bartholomew runs in, and you can see he has a bunch of different plates lined up right now. It does appear to be. I wrote this down. It does appear to be some sort of board. You can tell this is something that is not from the Durest area. It seems like it's styled up from the wastelands, the Vyasu's wastelands up in the northeastern area.
Okay.
So this is a far off food. We got some fancy ass food, is what you're saying. Awesome.
It's not too late. This seems like the perfect opportunity to get back and reclaim your honor.
I'm trying to piece together what he's gonna say. I just need a second.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing that we're trying to play a double here. We're trying to like inside both Fry Rainn and Delsin are like, ah! But they're like,
I just want to put up for a second, Conlon. I can hear you making noises in the other room, but I can't hear it through RTX.
oh, so you hear the ha-has. But like we're like in our head, like Rainn and Delsin's head, like, yeah, right. Oh man, you're just drinking that Kool-Aid, aren't you, lady? Like that's how our brains are both thinking. We're both like, we can't say that out loud. That's not what you do at someone who's invited you to dinner in their home. As well as Delsin doesn't want to just piss off his mom because he likes his mom and loves her. So he's like,
I know you want what you think is best for me, Mom, but I need to. I don't want to just coast on this family's name. I need to make a name for myself.
What kind of name are you looking for outside the family? What have you been doing for this year, old lad? Try to respect your privacy. You need to know you need to figure these things out, but what's worth moving away from your family?
Rainn's gonna say, right now he's a landlord, though he's working on other projects. I'm gonna throw you under the bus. So yeah, explain that shit now. Good luck, Delsin. Good luck. If I'm your girlfriend, I would know you're a landlord, even if you're a shitty one.
So you got some property from the Galloways, so that's quite impressive. But do you want to be a landlord now?
Wait, what was that?
So you got some property from the Galloways, but do you want to be a landlord now? That's what you want to do? Make a name for yourself that way?
It's a beginning. Quiet.
No. It's just a start to help put some money in my pocket, but I have been.
Delsin has to make a choice. Does he say he's been a vigilante or not?
No, I'm not going to say I've been a vigilante. I'm not going to be that open about it, okay?
He just puts on the hood.
I have been trying in my own way to make this city a better place for everyone. There is far too much suffering in this city. And I don't think people who are as privileged as us have been paying attention to.
Rainn's gonna smile and look at you sweetly. She's faking
Fascinating.
But like she thinks of you sweetly that way. Like that's a kind thing, but she's faking the extra. Oh, my boyfriend's saying this cute, nice thing. Like she's playing it up for you.
Your fascination with those below us in society, you know how far our family has worked to get this far up. And because of your father's hard work, you were born above the muck, Delsin. You can't sink down with them, especially when we are just on the cusp of getting to greatness within this society.
Is there silverware on the table?
There is
silverware on the table. Are you gonna grip it?
Yeah, Rainn's gonna just bend a fork in half. Rainn's just gonna like kind of the casual, like you're just standing there, and she's just grabbed the fork, and I don't know if anyone will notice her just doing it. She's just slowly bending it in half because she's like, she's like, this is how I'm gonna be calm. I'm just gonna bend then she's gonna bend it back as quickly as she can, and just
as you're doing that, Bartholomew puts that plate out in front of you with sliced boar cut down. There's steamed mashed potatoes as well, and some other.
Okay, this is an easy way to hide the bent fork, so she hides it back behind the food and then bends it back.
Bartholomew looks at you and be like, "Man," and then she goes over to Delsin to put a plate down as well.
I'm sorry, if this is ever animated, we need to have these little details to be known that they happened.
Thank you, Bartholomew.
And as Bartholomew comes over for Cecilia as well, she's like, "Thank you. Now, please go finish up dessert. This is the private matter." And Bartholomew's like, "Yes, ma'am." And bows a little bit and runs outside the glass gazebo.
I'm just happy you're saying gazebo, and we're actually in a gazebo instead of in a pavilion.
You guys, in the silence, you just can see around for a second. Just to get it first, just to give us setting what you guys see here, because you're now on the highest part of the backyard. What you can see around Rain is there does seem to be a garden off to the opposite side of where the pond is at as well. A squared garden that is right now pretty far in bloom. And the pond before that, you're seeing water spout out from the rock. You can see it snakes a small river and then goes out. And there is a white picket fence that surrounds from the other yard to the actual edge of the city itself. And you can see the water run off the edge as well.
Can we see the castle
But yeah,
from here?
not from on the gazebo.
Or is it sitting too low? You can see the tips of the castle?
Of the castle.
Okay.
Far off the distance, and yeah,
But it seems quite far.
Mhm.
How does that relatively feel towards any memories that she may have?
It's much further than that one memory you remember seeing.
Rainn's now like, oh shit, in her head. That's not out loud.
She's just like, worry way too much for those that need to make it themselves. Your father, you don't know what he's gone through in order to provide the life he has for you and your sister. You're privileged with what you have, and you take it all for granted.
You don't know. You don't know, do you?
Know what?
What he's done.
I can assure you, your father, all that he does is for you and your sister. The goal is to leave a prosperous life in the wake for you two. That's all that he and I do, is for you two.
No matter whose throat he steps on along the way.
There's always going to be competition, but nobody gets hurt, Delsin, other than just losing their business. We need to make sure that we are the ones who are the primary providers within the city. This is the only way we can make it in this society. You know this.
Nobody gets hurt, huh?
Nobody gets hurt.
Tell that to the kids. Oh man, I don't know if I want to be the one who.
No. Delson's just gonna say that he just as she says that, Delson's just gonna go, okay, and he's just not gonna say. He's not gonna say anything.
Rainn's gonna start eating just so that way she does not say anything out loud.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, and Delson's just gonna continue eating.
Rainn's just like, I want to just yell out about orphan kids. Or throw the fork into her eye. There's lots of choices here.
Rainn's holding back that rage.
Rainn's like, you have no clue, lady.
Delsin has a lot of anger too. There is. So is Kalina here? Is she at the
Not
table?
yet.
No, Kalina was back over practicing the violin.
Okay.
And your mother, after a few minutes of you all just eating a little bit, she puts her silverware down for a second and kind of brushes a little bit off her mouth. Right. Like I said, I told you I have a ticket for you. If you would come to the gala with your family, we do need you to come there for us. Like I said, this is a pivotal moment for our family. If we leave a good impression with the hard work that your father has worked for, with partnerships with other organizations, this could be our breakthrough. We do need you. Now, if you come and join the family, we can maintain the constant of suspended superiority in society and history. This is all to provide for you and your sister, give you guys the life to keep on providing from there, and even the justice you want for the city. I know this has always been what you wanted since you were a young child. Don't you see? This is what we're doing for you. We need you, Delsin.
Rainn and Thieves is gonna say, play the. This is what she's gonna say, but obviously it'll sound like some kind of kind, reassuring words because that's how Thieves Can't works. She's like, I think you should play the game for now.
Delson's just gonna nod. Okay, I'll be there.
You'll come. She kind of like for a second like.
She's like, "Wow, I
surprised.
didn't expect that to happen."
So,
Might I bring Rainn with me?
Rain's like, "Oh, this would look great."
roll a persuasion check. First roll of the game.
That's
No,
not the
I rolled a
first roll of the
perception
game.
check
We've rolled
earlier.
several perception checks.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I'll put the perception checks.
A persuasion.
Persuasion.
Rain's
Sorry,
gonna
this is almost
help you
rolled
by
like-
smiling, looking super charismatic. Can I help him?
That's gonna keep him from getting disadvantaged because his mother not like him.
That is a 16.
Okay.
16.
So all I did was keep him from disadvantage. Wow. Because
She doesn't. Just hold on, and she's gonna like for a second that excitement like takes a deep breath and she like looks over at Rainn and she's like,
by the way, Rain has been eating with the most like formal, like proper way.
She has become a rather significant portion of my life, Mother. It'd be very much appreciated if I could bring her along.
and Rainn, where do you hail from within the city?
Oh man, Rain's gonna need to definitely lie.
Nothing of what you just said came through. I think
you- I think you-
RTX voice was just like, that doesn't.
I was also choking while I said that, so I'm not surprised. Because I was like, ah, fuck, I'm gonna need. Like, Rain's brain's just like, fuck, calculate the lie real fast. Give me a second to look at the map to say what I'm gonna say. Rain's going to actually say the region she currently lives in, but she's going to say, but I'm not from there. Which is easier for the people who I contract work for to fake being poor like that.
You work for an organization. Then which one?
That I have to keep silent. My employers ask me for my discretion.
And what are your hopes for your future?
Rain smiles and looks up. She's like, many. I hope I can one day get to stand beside the queen even.
And she kind of gives like a kind of chuckle for a second. Well,
You know, Rain's dead ass serious. For once, that was Rain dead ass not lie. That was not a lie. That was her being serious about. That's what she wants. She wants to be the right hand of the queen.
even though I believe we can find a little better partners for your future, Delsin, I do respect your happiness. And looks back at Rain and says, if this is the one you want to be with,
Ooh, this is very insulting, and Rain is not happy about this.
we support you. She kind of gives like as warm a smile as she can.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to hold back my rolling of my eyes.
Wait.
Rain's just gonna very politely eat food some more.
She said,
Wait.
your ticket does come.
That was a yes, or
It was just a very insulting yes.
Right.
It was the most insulting yes ever, which is awesome because that means we have more tickets than we need.
It was trying to be polite, and she says, for families of our status, there are possible plus ones if necessary. So I'm sure we can have plus one addressed to you. You said your name was Rainn.
Correct.
And is there another name along with it? Last name, a surname?
Rain's gonna be quiet for a second and be like, no, I sadly did not get to learn my surname. She's like, what?
It's like, you don't know where you hail from, your mother and your father?
Oh man, Rain needs to take a pause now and think how she's gonna go through this situation. Give me a second.
Colin, you never knew when you were gonna have to touch upon this stuff, but you knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming. I was excited for it to come. That's why Rain has to decide, does she be more honest or does she lie? I think she's going to pick a middle ground. And she's like, sadly, my parents passed when I was very little. But she's not going to be very specific about it.
It's a shame, but you look like you've done a decent job with what you've had. You said you're working for some sort of corporation, so at least you're not one of those street rats running around doing nothing for the city.
Rainn's kind of look down and be like, the street rats do more for the city than you think. And she's going to say it out loud.
Wait, what'd she
because
say? What was that?
your mother said, at least you're not one of the street rats that don't do anything for the city. And Rainn's response would be like, you'd be surprised how much the street rats do for the city. I've known some.
Do you suppose you're correct? We would be nothing without the continued patronage of the denizens of Zesta. A lot of them do want to try to raise their status, and they find that what we sell can create that better image. So they do provide low income to help elevate our family.
Delsin is just going to put his hands on the table and be like, where is my sister? Is she going to be joining us?
Oh, good. We're going to go happier choices.
She's practicing in the study. If you would like, I can always have her sessions cut short. If you do want to have her join us for dinner.
I do.
Very well. She grabs from the side and she has a bell, and she rings the bell a little bit, and Bartholomew runs.
Can I run right? I don't need to roll. Do I need to roll a performance check for how good I am trying to be as formal as possible? I might be even being more formal than this family's actual roots.
Sure, but also taking it for granted that you're also blowing back a rage for not blowing up.
Yeah, it's true. That's why I'm like, I feel like I need a check here because Rainn's both trying her best to be the most polite, proper guest ever, but she also wants to jump across the table and stab with a fork.
Roll a performance check.
But she's like, I don't want to piss off Delsin. He's extremely useful in the long-term plans of my existence. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I need to go to my character sheet. That's a 16.
16. Decently well. You're probably matching.
So she hasn't gone above and beyond.
Mm-hmm. Bartholomew runs over and, yes, ma'am, you've called. She's like, go fetch Talita. Your brother wishes to see her after all this time. Of course, ma'am. And he whizzes off back towards the house. She sits down for a few moments and says, your sister has missed you. She always did look up to you growing up, everything you were doing for the city. It's been a shame in the past year. It's almost as if a role model of hers was out of her life. She wasn't sure what to do once you had left your position in power, your rising ranks.
I have missed her.
And she has you.
It was never my intention to hurt her.
Well, maybe the night of the gala might be a way to make amends to your sister as well. As well as your father as well. I know you don't trust him anymore. Have these sneaking suspicions that he's done something. He was never quite clear, but I assure you, your father is a good man.
Rainn's gonna choke on her food for a second, and be like, and she's gonna, not like that extreme. It'll be like, and then she'll, wipe her face with a napkin very politely and continue on. Because even Rainn couldn't stomach that lie.
And a few moments later, the glass door opens, and Bartholomew holds it open, and you can see your younger sister. She's I'd say, about 6 to 7 years younger than you are. She's got short black hair. Right now, she's wearing a lighter kind of gray gown on right now, like a dress. She looks over and she's like, Delsin. She runs over and she runs to give you a hug.
Hey, sis.
I'm glad that you've come home. I miss you quite a bit. Are you coming to stay.
Oh, excuse me.
Not for the night, and I'll still be living on my own,
Involved.
but I'm gonna be a little bit more involved. I'm gonna try and stick
Play-
around.
Man, to like play it by ear.
You can see she looks towards you, and she's got a very small nose, kind of like pretty wide face overall. Her cheeks are pretty powdered white, and she looks not like she's keeping up like hard with her image, but it's just like limited makeup, and she's already a naturally kind of pretty girl. She looks over and she's like, looks at you confused for a second. It's like,
This is
sorry to
Rainn.
hear you.
This is Rainn. She's
Hello,
my partner.
hello, I'm Kalina, and she gives a little like curtsy.
Adorable. How old is his
This
sister?
Rainn, this is Kalina.
How old are you, Delsin, again? What age did you say yourself?
He's
28.
yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
about 28.
She's 7 years younger than him, so she's at 21. So
Okay.
she's that up and coming adult. Same pronounced half elven ears that you do see hanging back with some earrings hanging off on chains surrounding.
Oh yeah, that's how Rain did her hair. Was her ears are pretty obvious. She looks. If you didn't know she was human, she looks like she's a half elf.
And she takes a seat next to Delsin, and Bartholomew brings a plate over, and she's like, "Thank you, Bartholomew. Of course, I will go and bring over desserts for you." And he runs off.
I
She's like,
will say to her, "It's very nice to meet you. Delsin has spoken much of you. He deeply misses his little sister."
she giggles for a second. She's just like, "Well."
Oh, by the way, Delsin probably makes you even more uncomfortable. Rain probably grabs your arm and stuff, like playing it up, and you're probably like, "Please stop, I beg of you."
And
I've had to.
Rain loves theater.
I'm glad I had to do a little bit of growing up last year, but it's all for the better of the family.
have you been practicing the skills I taught you, Kalina?
A little bit. I know you have to defend myself a little bit within the city. You've always been a little overprotective, but I can fend for myself now, I can assure you.
Still a good shot.
Decent, though. Father has been having me practice more of my arts instead. I just want. He actually got a magical permit for my studies as well.
Oh, guys, you're learning magic now, huh?
Oh, once you rise up a little bit into the city, you can get better access to magic overall, especially if you're using it to contribute. I don't know how much in the way of I can help with the family business, but I can at least make another name for the Mardithas, maybe.
Oh, I think you'd make a fine mage someday.
And your mother speaks up and it's like, yes, and hopefully gets within the ranks of the actual Queens area as well. I know there are several who study up in those ranks, and just like we were hoping that you would once become a knight, Delsin, we do have high hopes for Polina moving up within society.
Rain shoots so much higher than her mother shoots for either of you. Or even shoots higher for Delsin. Rain's is like, Delsin could be like a senior advisor to the queen or the non-existent queen who's dead.
And Cecilia, your mother, speaks up and says, your brother, Polina, has been working in a little bit of property management. Must be working with the Galloways a little bit.
Did you say my brother?
She's
Your
saying that to
brother.
Kalina.
Yeah, she's
okay.
saying to Kalina, your brother has been working in property management a little bit. Must be working with the Galloways, so he's trying to make a name for himself as well. Just like, is that where you want to go? And I thought you were a little bit more ambitious for taking care of the city rather than making sure people are in homes.
What was that?
Is that what you want to do to help the city? I know you were always more ambitious of helping the city. Are you trying to help the city by putting more people in their homes?
That's certainly a start. There are far too many people in this city who don't have roofs over their heads.
Right in their heads, like, this man owns a building that's empty.
But I am trying to help people any way that I can.
She's like, well, it's a good thing you must be working with the Galloways a little bit too, because we've started to have a little bit more involvement with them as well, especially with us possibly moving to suspended superiority. It's a lot of allocation of land, and they've been over quite a bit for the past year or so.
Okay.
Now, have you been? Maybe if you actually come with us when we move to suspended superiority, you can actually manage from there. And Cecilia's like, we're not there yet, darling, but the confidence is good. I have a good feeling that about us rising up shortly. And your brother would definitely be a good fit in if he's starting a business of his own. Maybe Mardithas Montiques can be more than just the major antique shop of existing.
Perhaps. Who
But your
knows?
brother hasn't decided he's coming home yet. Although we all have high hopes that he will make the right decision.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I need to use the bathroom.
Oh god, you're
The
leaving me
Delsin.
alone with these people. Oh god. So do you
Of
need to use the
course,
bathroom, so Delsin's gonna go pee now?
you remember where they are, correct?
I do, and I will walk off. But I would like to stealthily try and make my way towards my father's office.
Oh, I now have to play theater with these people.
I'm gonna be as quick as I can.
Oh no, but I'm excited. This is gonna be fun. You've only created fun, Delsin, that may
Alright.
end badly for you long term or short
And
term, but
as-
it's fine.
And as you were sneaking back into the house, leaving Rainn with your mother and your sister, take a quick 10-minute break right
Yeah,
here,
I need
guys.
to pee. All
Yeah,
right.
take a quick pee break and be right back to see where this continues. See you shortly.
Yay. Welcome.
Hello. We are back.
We're back. Na, 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 na,
Let's see
na.
how things split up now. So as Delsin heads back over towards the house, you go to the bathroom. Rainn, you're left with Cecilia.
Oh, we're starting me? I guess I don't get to eat my food yet. Okay.
And Celia continues eating a little bit more, keeping it to herself, and Queen is like, have you ever been this close to the inner ring of the city? Would you like to see it? It's quite the sight.
Oh, how do I answer this?
And she grabs your arm while you're thinking. She's like, Mom, do you mind if I show her? And she's like, I don't mind, honey. Just be back
Are you dragging
soon.
me out of the situation? Thank you for
She grabs
NPC
your arm
dragging me out.
and she like pulls you a little bit out of the chair. She's like, come on, it's so beautiful to see the inside ring. And she runs over outside the area. She heads out of the glass gazebo and passes by the pond. You can see the carved river path heading towards over to the edge, and she runs right up to the edge of the fence and kind of like grabs onto the edge, looking over, and she's like, "Say, Mardithas when she looks over and she's like, look at this. You can see everything. You can see all the different corporation homes. You can see over there in the far corner of a prison. But everything is such a beautiful sight. Don't you agree?"
Rainn's gonna smile and say yes. Yes, it is beautiful. I wish I could see the view more often.
If the sun shines right, and you notice the sun's down at this point, so it's just the light of the night throughout the city, glimmering all around, and the homes floating throughout the cities themselves. If the light shines correctly, you can see the pink flower garden near Amber Island. It's breathtaking. I'm gonna go there so bad one day. It's, you're lucky to be with my brother. If you two are serious, he's going places. He always has been. This is a bump in his legacy, but
Rainn's gonna look at
he's
her and be like, "Oh, I promise you, he's going places faster than you think. Faster than even your mother's planning."
well, he has such an in with the family. Is he serious? Do you think he will be coming back around more often? I do hope so.
Depends.
I don't want him to miss out.
Rainn's gonna say, "It depends on what your father decides to do." Them two had a spat. He hasn't told me much of it. Just he's very unhappy with your father. It depends what happens between them, I think. Maybe the gala they'll get to know each other, they'll get to talk again, and maybe they'll recoup. Though it's hard to say. Whatever it was, it hurt Delsin a lot.
Delsin blames my father for some competitor burning down across the city. It's totally unrelated. There's no way our father would do anything involved like that. Some petty criminals live around in the outer rings. They start nothing but trouble.
You'd be surprised how little trouble petty criminals actually create. They don't want to get caught.
You find yourself dealing with some of those who run around in those outer rings often?
Rainn laughs and says, "My employer has me run contracts that sometimes involve petty criminals. But you'd be surprised how little they want to get involved in big crime. You'd be surprised how little they want to do anything like that. When you live like that, from what I've seen, you want to stay low so that way you can get by. You wouldn't burn down a major warehouse. That means that God will look for you, and you'll no longer have a life to live. You'll be thrown off the city."
I don't much understand the mind of somebody who lives like that. But crazier thoughts have happened, I'm sure. There's been attacks like the one on the Queen earlier today.
Yes, I saw that in person.
Yes, yesterday.
Rainn's gonna be like, yes, I saw it in person.
Petty criminals like that thinking they're
Does she have no care that I saw it in person?
She knows there was an event, so she's not too surprised by that. But she's just like, I just hope my brother doesn't get involved with anything like that. I know he wants to help the people of this city, but there's so much he can do if he just joins back up with us, helping from within. That's what I
Rainn's
plan to
gonna
do.
put her hand on Clea and be like, you'd be surprised how actual little you can do from within.
Sound like you've had experience.
I promise you I have.
So, what are you trying to do? Are you assisting my brother, trying to help justice within the city from being a landlord?
I'm not working with him on that right now. Though we have made, besides our relationship, we've made a recent agreement to work towards helping other people in the city. As stated, I work more with the poor people in the city. It's why my employer keeps me in a home in one of the outer rings. It's one of the nicest apartments in the area, but it's still in the outer ring. It's that way I can mingle with them, see what I can do. And on my own side, I see where I can help. They pay me a lot, so I have a lot of extra coin.
Well, if you're going to be assisting my brother, just make sure he doesn't fall off this path. If you can, try to direct him back here. You must see, even though you don't think there's much we can do from the inside, that's the only way you can really make change within the cities from the higher ranks. I know that's what my brother always wanted when he was younger. He wanted to work as a knight for some of the ones who make those decisions, make a difference, protect people. Please, that was always his dream. If you can, help me guide him back to that.
Rainn's gonna look at me like, don't worry, I promise you, he'll realize his dreams.
He does. Maybe, and she leans over the edge. Maybe we can be down there with the best of the stallions soon.
Can we see the new blood housing from where we are?
Very faintly. It's basically like off to the right in the northern section. You can see clouds pass by, and occasionally there's like lights through the clouds from.
Rainn's gonna
the
kind of
west.
try and look hard at the new blood section.
Yeah. I spent some time looking down there. Nothing catches your eye that's similar or anything like that.
I didn't think it was, but it's gonna be because it's so far away.
Mhm.
But Rainn's just gonna be kind of just staring at the new blood housing.
And pointing out after a few moments notices and be like, that's where we could be living sometime soon. It's where all the newer families joining in get located at first. They
I
get
heard.
to be the ones who everybody gets to walk from the front of the city and see everything below them with the castle. It's quite an honor to be even considered to go down there.
I heard it's a beautiful area.
Well, maybe if you stick around with Delsin long enough, you might be able to see that view one day.
Maybe I will.
Only maybe my music and talents will be able to keep us down there, make you even move out of that section. Hopefully be somewhere floating closer to the castle, like the Nautilus. It's gonna be quite interesting to be so close to Aranger Castle for the first time.
Yes, it is interesting to be near or at the castle.
It's not there yet. Are you gonna be accompanying my brother?
Well, I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Are you gonna be accompanying my brother there?
To watch the gala? Yes.
Well, she looks at your outfit and she's like, you need to Any help with dressing? There's need to be a little bit fancier than you're currently wearing. Not like an insulting laugh, but kind of like a chocolate laugh. Like
Rain smiles. She's like,
real
"This is
thing.
just a dinner party. I promise you. I bring much more to the game when it comes to a real party." Oh, actually, I'm gonna say this is just dinner. I bring much more to the game when it's a real party.
Oh, please do. This is a lot rides on our family's image. I know that my mother cares very greatly to make sure this party, this gala goes well for us.
It will. Hopefully. Hopefully there's not too much trouble. I've been hearing musings of that bullshit. I don't know if I'm gonna say bullshit. Let me think. Give me a sec.
That's not best lingo in higher society.
Yeah, that's why I sound like I'm not with the right group right now. So Rain would probably think that and be like, "No, I need to pause." I've been.
Okay.
Well, it's good, and that makes sense. And the character she's faked here is I work with several different societies. It's hard. Rain, and by the way, this whole time Rain's been using her fancier accent, obviously.
Yes.
Not her like fanciest. It's like her natural speaking voice. Rain is going to then say, "I've heard some musings from hearsay that the gala may not be the safest place to be tomorrow night."
She turns to you a little bit. She's like, "What do you mean by that?"
My employer gives me security briefs in case there's potential for danger in the area. I told them that my boyfriend was going to try and get me into the gala. And they said, "Be cautious. We've heard rumors of a potential attack at Dionota's house. Though I doubt it's substantial. Most of their rumors they tell me mean nothing."
She laughs and she's like, "Well, hopefully it is just a rumor.
They
You
just
would
want to
have to
keep
be
me
out of your,
safe. I understand.
you would have to be out of your mind to attempt to attack something like that."
Rain.
Wait, what did he say?
You'd have to be out of your mind.
To attack something like that. And she continues with the security there. It's something that is going to be insane. Anybody who attempts anything is going to have a quick name on a jail cell over in the prison down there.
Rain's like, "Of course they would. And probably a very swift float."
Yes. I've never liked the concept, but it's such as
Oh, I now have seen a little bit of light that I want from a girl who I was worried was far too brainwashed. That's what I was looking for, something to grab onto. Rain's gonna smirk and smile and kind of laugh a bit after she says that she's never quite liked the concept of floating. "I've always hated the concept. I once had a boyfriend that lived near the area where they do the floatings. His back porch looked off, and you could see the public floatings happen. It's such a waste of life. Some of those people were floated for even the pettiest of crimes. Crimes where they should just be fined or sent to help the queen, or who knows. I haven't figured that out. I'm not the lawyers exist.
Do what?
The law professionals and lawyers exist in Zista.
Like, is there like a court system?
There's not a court system, but like in terms of like people who would be people who study the law. Because that is who a lawyer is. Even if they're not someone who argues, they still study the law.
Those are more the investigators in the healthcare armory and transfers.
Okay.
Those people
I'm just making sure I use the right term. That's all I care. Okay.
There are no court system or
I know.
anything like that. It's you get caught and you know your way around the law and stuff like that. Like the investigators know how to pick somebody who's breaking the law and bring certain people to justice.
Okay. I just need to make sure I'm using the right term when I say my sentence. That's all. Rain, I'm going to continue. I'm not an investigator, so I'm not sure what the best course of action. I'm not the queen. But I just feel sometimes there's such wasted potential for some of the people I've seen thrown off the edge.
For the most part, they say all those people were trying to harm this stallion way of life. It's a nice constant. There's an area of peace right now. These are all what they said, troublemakers trying to disturb that peace.
I guess.
There is a status quo in how the society works. You need to follow certain ranking, and if people decide to break the law in that way, I don't believe that is the best decision. You can't just imprison them, but
you'd be surprised how many people do break the status quo that you never hear about.
Is this something you hear in your line of work a lot?
No, it's something I've experienced in my life.
Well, if you've had a boyfriend down in the Outer Rings, it seems like you've made quite the climb.
Oh, I didn't know he lives in the Outer Rings when I began dating him. Rainn kind of smiles. I'm like, he was just cute.
And class isn't the first thing that you're looking for somebody?
Rainn's like, I've learned in life, after all the people I've worked with on the many different classes in our society, that class doesn't make a person. It makes them in our hierarchy, but doesn't make who they are. Doesn't make if they're a good or a bad person. Doesn't make if they're helpful or kind. What makes them that is who they choose to be. And I've met some very kind people who are the poorest of the poor that are begging on the streets. And I've met some of the meanest, unkind, and unfair people who are at the tippity top of our society.
I mean, everybody who has made it to suspended superiority except the originals, well, they all came out from the Outer Rings as well within our family. Our great-grandfather Reginald Mardithas. He's the one who first started the business.
Do you hate that name, Andrew? You had the real fucking nasty look about Reginald Mardithas.
I don't know. I don't hate it. I've always thought Reginald is a funny name.
Like your face, I was just like, we have to say something about that because he's made this like.
Great-grandfather Reginald Mardithas. He's the one who started the Montiques and climbed us up as far as we are. Father seems to be on the verge of making the next step, so if we can do it, anybody can. You just need to put the amount of effort in. But so many people choose to stay there, and if they just applied their skills, worked within the system more, do the same.
You'd be surprised how many people don't want to go above. Who don't want to live above. I don't understand it either. But there's some people who are very content having a nice little bar on the outer ring and going about their day.
Not for me.
Rainn stares at the castle, switches her look to the castle. Not for me either.
Well, dessert's probably ready. We should head back now. But
thank you for showing me the view. I haven't gone to see the castle like this in a long time.
Of course, and hopefully that you keep up. I meant this in a way to understand who your brother's chosen, and hopefully in a way to convince you to keep him on this path. I do want him around more often, so you better bring him.
Oh, don't worry. His path will involve you more. You are his favorite sister, she laughs.
She laughs as well as she starts heading back up towards the glass gazebo. Delsin!
I can see.
You head back into the household. You head back in through the dining room, which is still to this moment empty, and you pass back through the living room, the sitting area that is very well ornate, decorated, like a special weird part of a forest with a fire pit in the center. It's very ornate and over the top, but that's how you grew up in. You pass back over the way into the study room. You do see the section immediately to your right, where there is the bookshelves again lining the corner wall, and your father's desk with his chair there. And out in front of it, the area where you used to have some training dummies. You can still see some targets on the walls with marks from eras. Seems your sister does practice here with that as well. Most of the actual plan itself has been changed out with things for the arts. There's easels, there's a bunch of chairs, a lot of in the works pottery mix. So it seems like your sister.
You've been replaced.
You have been replaced in this room at least, your sister. But your father's desk is over in the corner, and then you can see the staircase at the other end of the wall that does lead up to where your parents' bedroom.
Okay.
And roll a stealth check as you are walking through the house stealthily.
Cocked. Okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Stealth check.
Mm-hmm.
18. 25.
There's those rogue levels, right? So yeah, there's not a creak or a crack in the floorboard as you are walking through. You have memorized creaky floorboards within this house and know how to actively avoid them. So you move silently into the study room. Where do you go from here?
My father's desk. It's my first stop.
Okay. As you get to his desk, you can see blank papers and a full of ink. Oh my God, what is it called? The ink well, right?
An inkwell. It's an inkwell.
I lost that word for a second. The quill and the inkwell on there, as well as some, just a lantern that is on there, almost in a way where it's almost looks like a lamp. Like it doesn't look like a stair. You can't carry a lantern with a little twist on to turn the flame. Roll an investigation check as you're looking over his desk.
That is a 19.
19. You can find there are several drawers, but opening up a few of them, you can see different types of ledgers. You can see different sales records and things like that, especially from your uncles who do run different branches throughout the city of Mardithas Antiques. But the bottom right drawer, it appears to be locked.
Can I try and pick it?
Can't roll a thieves tools check, which I don't think anybody took expertise, but you also got proficiency in it. So it's your dexterity plus your proficiency modifier.
Okay. Fuck.
Stop cocking all your dice, Andrew.
What?
I said stop cocking all your dice, Andrew.
I don't know, but that's a natural 20.
Okay. All these years of thieving, though this past year of thieving has paid off, as you are able to work the tumblers very quickly. The lock, you do open up the drawer. You find new contracts that seem to be getting signed. The father's signature is emblazoned across it. The Alistair artifacts. They're contracts with the Galloways. It does look like he's been working recently to acquire new properties across the city for Mardithas Antiques, as well as buying up old property buildings as well. And one of some old bars, some old shops just to be reconverted. But one plot of land does stick out to you. Your father has recently acquired the rights to the land where Tatillia's Designs and Decor used to be. The place that you found birth at. He's recently acquired the rights to that land.
Is that the only thing I find mentioning the Tatillia? But what was it called?
Tatillia Designs and Decor. That was the name of that.
Do I find anything else in the desk mentioning them?
Not in this desk. This one, you do find this in the locked area with this mention. But with your investigation check, this is the only thing in regards to that with kind of curiosities that you do find. There's a total of 8 new properties all throughout different sections in the city, including the designs and decor that your father has recently acquired the rights to. At least here, this is all the information you're able to find.
I'm going to make my way to the bedroom.
Okay. You climb up the staircase that builds into the wall there. The unlit torches hanging in the room, but the moonlight from the windowsill is making some as you do climb up the stairs. It's built into the wall itself, almost because there is this passage in between the the suburban homes apartment style, where there are staircases built into the wall to get to the second level. As you do get there, it does bring you to a hallway. Hallway, you can see there's a door on the left, which is your parents' bathroom. And then a door on the right, nearing the end of the hall, that leads to your parents' room. Do you try the handle?
Yes.
You try the handle. It is currently locked.
Lockpick.
A locked check. We're doing some thieving today.
I'm breaking into my own house.
Lock. So that's 14. So plus Dex plus proficiency. 21.
21. Takes a few seconds, but pretty easily you do unlock the door and opens into your parents' bed chambers, where you can see a pretty extravagant bed laid out. It does even have, Colin, if you know the words, I don't know them, but it's basically like where the pillars on the side
fuck. I had it, and then you asked, and then it's gone.
I can't, it's out of my brain. I know the word too, I just can't fucking think of it, but it's one of those fancy beds. You can see there is a family portrait over a fire next to a fireplace in the corner of the room that is currently lit, but just very died down. It's smoldering. It's kind of mainly just ashes and an almost burnt log. You can see there is a bookshelf in one corner of the room on your father's side of the bed. Some end tables with some jewelry lying across it, as well as some fancy like vases and pedestals over the room. It looks like your parents do decorate their room. So you do remember, for the most part, pretty fancy with some of their month. What would you like to do?
I'm going to sweep this room.
Okay, roll an investigation check.
Looking for any evidence of my father's activities.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
Oh, come on. No, that's cocked. Fuck. Okay, that's 14 plus 8. 20, 14. 22.
22. Okay. So you're searching around the room, and you search certain areas at first, like the end tables, but you find miscellaneous letters from family members written off to both your mother and your father, as well as jewelry stashed off in certain sections. You can find your mother has a huge collection of jewelry here, both earrings, necklaces, and everything. If you didn't want to steal anything, you could, or you can just leave it. But you search around the room, checking underneath the fireplace for certain sections.
Maybe like behind the painting to see if anything's behind there.
You search behind the painting at times, and you don't see anything as you lift it up. You grab the bookshelf to try to move for a second, and the bookshelf doesn't seem to move off the wall.
It doesn't, or does?
Yeah, it doesn't. And you look on the floor, and it looks like there's slight dragging marks that you do find.
There are drag marks.
You and your father are the same person.
All right, I'm gonna start shifting stuff around on the bookcase.
Oh, you knew what Rainn was doing earlier? Well, she said it might work, and just yanking books.
Investigation check. This one focusing in on the bookshelf.
Ooh, that's good. 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 24, 25.
problem with an all rogues party is when you consistently set DCs at a 20, rogues smash the time.
Smash it to pieces. I have a
yeah,
+8 to investigation, dude.
Yeah, fucking rogues, man. Steel monkeys. You're pulling some books off of the actual shelf itself, moving things around. You feel down the side of the actual bookshelf itself, like how you have a little compartment go off, but it doesn't seem like anything comes off. And there seems to be a bust at one point of what appears to be King Talir, King Vilhelgerin, the Queen Kitteris's husband. You turn it over a little bit, and it just moves in place in the bookshelf.
Secret door, secret door, secret door.
Are you like
Please no, just a Tony Stark from Age of Ultron.
Please be a secret door, please be a secret door. Yay!
That's one of my favorite scenes in all of the MCU.
I will make my way.
Behind that bookshelf,
is it a
you can see
down? Or...
no, it opens up to I'd say about 15 by 15 foot room. You look inside, it is completely dark, but you do have dark vision. You can see there is another desk. And there does appear to be what looks to be a suit of armor lying right next to the desk itself. And then you do see a weirdly placed vase that does seem to have almost like a purple floral-esque design going down it. And what you do see as you are looking at it, it does appear like there are weird carvings in the vase.
Can I try and make them out, or
roll an Arcana check?
This is gonna be good. What is my Arcana? Wait, what did I? 14.
14. You can't make out exactly what they're saying, but you are able to discern that this is very similar to a magic cache arcane. Right.
Oh, what?
It's a magic cache.
A magic cache.
A magic cache?
Yes, the storage areas of higher stallion society people. It's basically the bank in this world. It's where you guys are trying to break into Daihanam's magic cache. So you found the magic cache.
Okay.
You found your family's magic cache.
At least one of them.
So, and it's just the vase?
It does seem like that is where that is. What you have seen in magic caches in the past, they could be standard safes. They could be sections of the wall. They could be mundane objects. It's something that acts as a key to hold in extra things and keep it sealed off.
Okay. And there's a desk in here?
There is a desk.
I will search the desk.
One investigation check.
22.
22. Searching through this desk itself, you can see that there is a lot more notes in here. You find written records of times that your family has been going over actually to the Eye of All. It does seem like there's written records of the family. Just like, shot up for a second.
Oh my god, I almost choked to death. Fuck.
Within those notes that you do find, it does mention how. Let me actually set it here.
Delsin, I must know about this. It's okay if you don't tell me.
It's dealings my family has gone to the Eye of All for?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does look like you can find written records of your family working in conjunction with it looks like some sort of deal without details. There are actually sections that are like blacked out on the paperwork,
Like they were
that
redacted.
Redacted.
in a way, yes. Dealings with Ever, you do see that name in
Wait,
um,
with what? What was it?
Evermore.
Ever.
So records of family working with Evermore.
It's that same organization that like forever forget type of thing that you guys did here. And a mention. Um, there is a name that you do see in between all the redactions on this paper. You do see the name Trickstress, and you do see Trickstress, like
Okay.
mistress, trickster, kind of mixed together.
Brian's
Okay.
proud of that word.
Okay.
You see things mentioning things saying like the truth of Evermore. You hear her glory, and it says mention in a different section where there seems to be records also redacted of visits to Evermore, mentioning seeing from both your mother and father, seeing the truth.
Wait.
See what?
Can you start that over real quick? I'm sorry. I'm just trying to write it down.
No worries. And you see redacted, almost written records of trips. It seems like your family has, over the past year, whether your mother or father were in pairs, and a few times even Kalina, not every time, but a few times, going to the eyeball. No direct messages from Kalina, but your mother and father writing down that she attended at those times, mentioning things, seeing the truth, seeing proof of what they preach at Evermore. Seeing the mention of seeing the uh, studded lock with the question mark. That first time going there. And ever since more clarity has been acquired on the truth of Zista itself. But those are the things that you can see out of these files. A lot of it has been like blacked out, redacted off of the paper.
Okay. Okay.
For what you do know about magic caches, because this has come up a few times in the campaign, and you also would know from your dealings as the rogue, is magic caches do typically have a certain level magical protection put on them. They either open from dispelling the magic in some way, shape, or form, or knowing the password and saying the password in a voice that has been registered to magically unlock this.
Okay. Can I find any evidence of this password?
From your sweep through the desk, no, you did not see anything that showed record on the password.
Okay. Okay. Well, and other than the vase in that desk, is there anything else in this room?
There is that suit of armor that is
Suit of armor.
beside the desk in the vase. You do see it hanging on the wall. You do see like your father's weapons from the past. He's never been part of the guard, but he's got his own weaponry. It's almost like my headphones out. You see like a rack of actually a sword and a shield with your family crest on it as well, hanging on the wall. Different types of drapes that seem to be relics and motifs and stuff, but nothing immediately catches your eye of suspicion, other than that really stands out, other than the vase and the armor.
I don't know the password. I'll look over towards the vase and say, another time. And I will leave the room.
Imagine if it just opened.
Okay.
I will close the bookcase.
Okay.
Turn
the bus back and.
I don't think there's. I already searched in here, so there's nothing else in here. Yeah, I guess I'll make my way back towards the dining room.
All right, so Rainn and Polina, you guys talked for quite some time, but Delsin, you also were reading through a lot of notes. I'd say Rain and Polina, you probably arrive a few minutes before
Yeah, I was saying I think that
Delsin would
so.
get back. So you come back just as Bartholomew is bringing out, and you can see there are several baked goods that he does bring out, things that are seems to be a banana cream pie.
Rain almost makes a face at it.
It seems to be very well baked. There is all sorts of stuffed and cream-filled baked pastries.
Rain will take a pastry. She's not going to have the pie. She makes a face at the pie. When she sees the pie, she makes a very obvious face at the pie. They're like, no one else will be like, okay. She doesn't like banana cream.
Cecilia's just like, help yourself. It's Delsin's been gone for some time.
Maybe he's having some oh no, that's not the right digestive trouble. I don't know why I've never said that's not something I thought I'd ever say in Rain's voice, but I now have said digestive trouble in her voice.
Possibly. She looks like.
Hope he didn't fall in.
He's probably gone to see his room or something. It's been some time. I've tried to keep it pretty straight for him, but there's never much for decorations like the rest of the family.
No, he is not much for decoration still. Rain's like, I've been to his apartment. It's pretty impressively sparse. I'm almost impressed by how little things he has.
Well, maybe, and Cecilia speaks up, maybe sometime if things go well, Delsin can use some of our assets to fill his apartment a little bit more. Does he have any tenants or anything?
He has a few.
Roll a deception check.
Yeah, that's a spirit lie.
Cool,
but that's fine.
She asked if Delsin has any tenants.
Tenants.
And I said, yeah, he has a few. Just a dead-ass lie. Because Rain's like, I don't want to fucking sell you out that bad boy. Deception. Where the hell is it? D, I can do letters. That is a 27.
She's like,
I rolled 19.
At least he's doing something. Yeah.
And Rain said, he's doing a lot more than that, but now I'm pulling.
She's eating a little bit. She's looking more at you, Rain. She's like, I do not mean to be rude by any means, but
I have to pay attention.
I'm a little bit curious, especially if you are partnered with my son. You seem like you are wanting to be around with him, but I'm very curious about the image that you may find along with him. Again, I don't mean to be rude, but has something fallen you, and she looks at you, she's like, it looks like you've had quite some hardships in your time. And you get the sense she's talking about your startup.
Oh, Rain, I already looked at you, Brian. Rain's gonna be like, I have.
You haven't had many people mention anything about it yet, but now you're dealing with people.
Rain's also covered in tattoos. Like the dress she's wearing, you can see two like sets of roses. Like she's very. Rain's not a subtle.
This is a conservative mother, just like.
Rain is tattooed all the way to her fingertips. Has ornate rings woven into her braids. Rain is the most extra person. Rain's like, it was a business deal that went bad. Sadly, I didn't heal up like I hoped I would.
It's quite unfortunate. You have such a pretty face.
Oh, that's very kind of her. That's a rare moment. I thought she was going to be much meaner.
I do also notice you don't seem to. You say you live out in the outer ranges, but you don't seem to speak like someone from there.
I wasn't born there. I already told you that. That's where I live now.
Yes. I'm kind of curious about that. Did you?
Oh man, she's calling out my fucking accent that's clearly like just a hair above the normal accent.
Were you somebody who used to reside?
I want you to repeat that sentence. I did not hear you very well. Move
Were-
closer to
she's-
the mic, Brian.
She starts up. Were you somebody who used to reside? And she pauses for a second. She's like, "What level of society are you from?"
Oh. I now have to make choices. Do I be honest and have some extra fun with this? Or would Rainn hide it? Because Rainn is at such a weird, pivotal point in her life right now, where she's very curious about her past, and very much it wants to drag back to where she's supposed to live. But also is like, I shouldn't tell her things, because I don't trust her yet. Oh. But she's also has ins on high society, which is useful. Rainn would probably pause for a second. Like, there would actually be a verbal pause that, like, would be awkward.
And there's a few moments when Kalina's not even wasn't paying attention. She was just cutting from her pie, and she took a moment after the silence and looks up, and Cecilia's looking at you quite curiously.
This is gonna be a lot. This is gonna be a lot, guys. This is a rare moment. I'm gonna have to take it. I'm not throwing away my shot for the Hamilton fans.
Well, spaghetti.
No, I was doing Hamilton because Hamilton's wonderful, guys. Go see Hamilton.
I was just doing Eminem. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's okay. Concept is very similar, so it's irrelevant on that part. Rainn's like, Rainn's gonna up her register a little bit in her accent and say, I was definitely not born in the inner rings, or the outer rings. I was born in suspended superiority.
Kalina was taking a bite. She's like,
Did he almost choke? Wait, what did someone just say?
and Cecilia looks at you. Is that so?
Yes.
You say you don't remember your family.
No. They passed when I was young.
How old are you?
Sorry, disaster cast. Move over. Rainn's looking for stuff. Rainn's gonna, she's going to say, I will be 25 in about 5 weeks.
There's a lot of families at times that make it out there, and they don't have what it takes to stay constant. Well, whatever your parents lesson did, maybe they just didn't have what it took to stay out there. I do apologize. You do seem that they taught you well.
Rainn's gonna say aloud, but she's gonna switch to Elven in her high accent and be like, they taught me quite well. They taught me a lot.
Rainn. Interesting name. And this time Delsin walks in.
Delsin, I'm sorry. I've just revealed to your family that your girlfriend is. It means you're doing better. Your mom now thinks you're doing better than you originally were, by the way.
And Cecilia looks and she sees, Delsin, you get lost around the house.
I wanted to see the rest of the house. I got a little lost. I apologize.
It's been so long.
I have missed it here.
Didn't fall in. Kalina ends up saying out.
I do like Kalina. She's a fun person. Too bad she's very indoctrinated.
She doesn't fall in as she takes a bite and she just looks at you with a smile.
You've probably walked into a really awkward room. The tone of the room is very weird.
I will sit down.
There is an awkward tone, and you look at Rainn, and there is like a presence about her.
Rainn probably looks really calm, though, even though everyone else seems awkward.
Cecilia's just like, so feel free to take some desserts, Delsin. And so, I'm glad that you decided you will be coming with us. We will be heading out before the sun sets to the Nyachika Armory and Transfers, where all the tuna platforms will bring us over to the actual Dai's estate. We would very much like it if you could come here tomorrow morning to prep with us, but as long as you are here before we set off.
I can't promise I'll be here in the morning, but I'll definitely be here with
Rainn
Rainn.
Rainn speaks up and says, "Yes, we have quite a schedule for tomorrow morning. Especially now, we have to also get ready, so we probably
We'll
will
be
show
here.
up just before you head out."
What she said.
Dustin's like, "Wait, there's been some control loss to me."
In which Cecilia does notice for a second. She kind of like eyes back over, like back and forth for a second. She's like, "Very well, as long as you do not make my son late."
I'm quite punctual.
Well, your father should be arriving back soon, Delsin. I don't want anything awkward between you and your father. I'll give him the night to prepare to see you again tomorrow, and I assume you probably need the same.
Yes. Send him my regards and tell him I look forward to speaking with him.
You know, your father has looked forward to getting a chance to talk to you again since that time last year, so hopefully we can all become a family again tomorrow.
Here's hoping.
She rings the bell and Bartholomew comes back out and she's like, "Hey, well, Bartholomew, we are ending. If you could please get the dishes," as she does stand up and clean. He gets up as well, takes a final bite of the pie, and he's just like, "Yes, madam." And she's like, I will walk you both out. Kalina, I know your studies were cut a little bit short, so just a little bit
Does
more
the
before we
fork
open
I
tomorrow.
bent look fucked up?
Bartholomew, as he gets over to your plate, he takes some of the plates for a second before whizzing off. He grabs the fork, he looks at it for a
Oh, because
second.
I was gonna try and steal it if it looked fucked up.
Oh, you can roll sleight of hand check.
Well, I was trying to decide, does it look fucked up? Was the first
It
question.
does look fucked up.
Do I want to steal it? Do I want to steal from the quickling? Yeah, I'm gonna steal
You
fork from your house.
have an expertise in sleight of hand. You took that for a reason.
Did you roll a nat 1?
Yeah, no, it wasn't that 20.
Oh, a nat 20. Okay.
It's
okay.
God. Just
What does that give you
30.
for bonus?
A 30. 30. Okay.
You saw Bartholomew pop up dishes. You just quickly, and then you don't have pockets in your dress, but God, it disappeared somewhere.
No, she has one of the dagger sets on her hip. Rainn doesn't go anywhere without weapons.
Bartholomew takes the
So it's now sitting in with one of the daggers she has on her thigh.
He hesitates for a second, looking over, but then doesn't question too much and takes the rest of the plates. Cecilia stands up and be like, "We'll walk you out." And he starts leading back outside the glass gazebo back to the dining room. She leads you through the dining room, back through the living room space, and she does as she stops by. She does seem to start soak up the fire a little bit in the actual fire pit. And she walks you guys all over to the door. You guys get your shoes back on and out the front door. As you're standing outside, your mother stares at you and says, "Justin, I'm glad you did accept my invitation. It is wonderful to have you home. I do hope you know I do love and miss you very much."
I know, Mom. I will give her a hug.
She hugs and holds you in tightly. She breathes out a heavy sigh, holds onto your shoulders, and she's like, "You know, remember when you were my little boy, and I hope that you still realize your mother is here to help you. Always, okay?"
I'll just smile. Nod.
And Felina comes over afterwards and gives you a hug and be like, Well, it's got to be a start somewhere to get things back to normal, huh? She says as she's holding around
It'll
you.
never be normal.
I hope. Kalina. I will kiss the top of her head.
She
Aww.
gives a
And
quick giggle. And she's well. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And just you've been out of it forever. Don't embarrass us, okay? She,
try my best. As I
Good
smirk,
night.
and we will walk away.
Oh, I was gonna
See you
shake
later.
your mother's hand politely, and
Yeah, as that conversation's going on with Kalina, Cecilia looks up at you, Rain, and she shakes your hand. She's like, "It's a pleasure meeting you, Rain. I hope that this partnership you have with my son,
let's hope fortune
whether
favors
it's
me.
fortune will favor the Mardithas family.
Oh,
Whether
that
you
is that.
become a part of that, well, hopefully we'll see how things work.
In reality, tonight she's gonna go and look through the records and be like, "What family died 20 had a daughter 25 years ago?" It's really what's gonna happen, and she's gonna see me tomorrow and be like, "I know who you are." I'm like,
And Kalina also gives you a little courtesy. It's nice to meet you as well. Uh, interesting to hear a little bit about who my brothers got involved with, but hope to see you around a little bit more.
Hope to see you as well, and of course I will see you both tomorrow. And I promise,
Once I can-
my normalcy tonight will not show through tomorrow. Rain's going so extra in her dress, it's not even funny. She's literally putting a sword in the back of her dress.
The mother says, "I do hope so. Now have a fair night, you two." Closes the door.
You too, Mom.
As they walk away, I'm like, I hope your mother doesn't mind. Your parents seem more conservative. I hope they don't mind my outfit going to be slightly more flamboyant.
Frankly, I don't give a fuck what they think.
Good. Because I intend to figure out how to put a sword in the back of the dress.
I like that.
Delsin! Awesome.
Awesome.
All right, and you guys are now on the streets, right outside in the innermost ring of the city in Divinity's Overlook.
Yep.
Where you guys go?
We're gonna head
I'll-
towards that party place. I forgot the word club.
The rainbow. Wait, what is it?
Rainbow
It is
Tabaxi.
the Rainbow Tabaxi Club.
I remembered what the name of the place was, but I forgot the word club for a second.
As we're walking, I'll say to Rain, I think
You have about a half-hour walk to there, so you guys do have time to talk a little bit.
Oh, good, because I'm going to tell Nelson what I said and be like, I apologize. So you go.
I think we can do more damage from the inside.
Rain's going to say, in some ways, yes. I think our way is on the inside and the outside. We have new connections now with the Liberator, and you should work your current connection, potentially reaching up to suspended superiority. I'm going to... Delsin, I told your mother where I was born.
Oh.
She definitely reacted to it, which is good for me. Maybe not for you or for anyone else, or my long-term survival.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but there's probably a lot I don't know about my mother.
That's true.
From what I saw during my trip to the bathroom.
I assume you went to your father's office?
I did.
Very good.
They've had dealings at the Eye. They have had dealings at the Eye of All.
Yes, they have. Jackson, what?
You know.
I was going to hold it back a little bit because it wasn't necessarily important right now, but then your mother called us during the day, so things change. I was going to tell you later. Don't you know the desks that we found all those notes in at the Eye of All? I have them all.
And you remember too, when you were looking through the notes, Delsin, you saw your mother's name while you were sifting through there really quickly one day. One of the 2 minutes.
I have all the notes in both journals. I'm going to say this in Elven Thieves' Cant, by the way, so that way it's a little more hidden, because I should not admit openly in public that I've stolen things from the Eye of All.
A guard passing by you as you say that just looks at you for a second, not like he knows, but he's just like, that's a weird sentence.
That's a weird sentence.
That's fantastic. I will.
We'll have to go through them sometime soon. I don't think we'll have time until after the gala.
Probably not.
But the reason I told your mother was I hope I can try and figure out who I am. If my
You think she
family...
might know?
I didn't hear what you said.
You think she might know?
Supposedly there's a lot of people named Rainn, and they're all younger than me. I've noticed this for 25 years of my life, that I meet kids named Rainn, boys and girls, who are all almost exactly 1 to 5 years younger than me. But I've never met a single person with the name Rainn that's older than me.
Delsin, all you can think of is that Rainn that you fought in the ring. He seemed to be about 3-4 years younger than Rainn, like early 20s, like much like your younger sister.
Okay.
Which
That's
is...
the only one that you directly know, but you do know, you hear the name Rainn, like.
And you've heard someone say to me during our dealings, that's a common name. And Rainn's like, I've never met anyone I've never met anyone my age or older than me that has my name. Which is odd.
I'm not sure what that...
Would that mean it's prevalence after my birth?
I don't know. It could mean a lot of things. It could mean nothing.
That's true. It could just fall into fashion. Maybe it was a rainy season. I have no clue. But Rainn's like, it's odd. I'm now learning I might be from suspended superiority. I have smallest of memories of seeing the Queen when I was younger.
Strange.
And to see the Queen all regal is weird to me, almost. Seeing her there at the... I've just forgot the name of the fucking place. Oh my god, Ethereum. I got it. Athenium, sorry. At the Athenium. That was weird to see her putting on the act of I'm the Queen. My memories of her aren't like that.
Wow. I'm not sure what we'll find out.
Well,
but hopefully we can find the truth.
I hope so. If my family has money left when they died, I want it back. And if they have power, I will take it back.
And I'll do everything I can to help you.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming with me.
Absolutely. I was curious after I'd read your parents' names in the journals. That's half the reason I came. And now after today, I also came as a friend. This is a rare moment. Rainn has very few friends. She can list them on like 1 or 2 hands. Andy, Delsin, Zan, his wife. Her armorer. Oh, you know, it's a friend. That's a business acquaintance.
Delsin will just smile and continue walking.
There's something else I wanted to say. Fuck. Think of it, brain. Oh, Rainn's gonna be like, by the way, about the dress. Don't you remember that fancy sword we bought? I bought.
I do.
I'm going to try and figure out how to get that into the back of my dress, and I'm going to bring that new shield I have with it too, to show off the new and the old, and see if I can sneak armor in with it being aesthetically pleasing.
Well, not sure how conspicuous that's gonna look.
It's not supposed to be conspicuous. It's art.
True.
They just don't know it's functional art. I intend to wear the shield as if it's a backpack. I don't intend to bring much of my other equipment unless you can fit it in that bag of holding.
I can fit anything you want in the bag of holding.
That's a weirdly innuendo-y sentence. If Serenity had said that, I would be uncomfortable.
I mean, really, it's really deep though. Like,
no, Delsin's just
although-
being Delsin and like not is like, huh? That's not his style. I understand. That's fine. That Rainn didn't say that. That was me making a joke. And Rainn's like, but yes, hopefully that doesn't make too many people unhappy. I do want to be aesthetically fond of the dress, and hopefully my dress matches their fashion choices well enough. It's definitely not conservative. Definitely not bad.
I prefer it that way.
Well, it's okay. I'm already showy. Points at face and scars. It's weird I've gone this far as a criminal, but not gotten noticed. Either means I'm a really good criminal or everyone else is incompetent. Not sure which.
Who cares?
I'm sure my criminal past will come to bite me in the ass, but we'll let that be a problem. When all I have to worry about is power.
I'm sure my activities will catch up to me.
You used to be seen as the noble man who saved Zista. I am a petty criminal.
I have probably made a lot of enemies and things with the things I've done.
Oh, that's true.
As this is even going on, you hear some soldiers walk by and just talk about the rumors of previous night, the soldiers who were killed on the Western Docks. There's the shadow who's there. There's reports of seeing him there. You make these rumors are a little bit shitty. Yeah. Two of some of them did survive, and they did.
Do I hear some of them survive?
Yes. So they also mentioned seeing Kenku, and it was unclear the other two. There was really hard to see.
Rainn very quietly and stealthily drags you into an alley. I'll roll for my stealth check. That was fine for me.
Fuck.
That is a 21.
Being dragged.
Yeah, you're not really have a choice in the matter. I'm just going, come on. I'm stealthily doing that action. It's just me. You're just like, huh?
Alright, so you guys are in the alleyway now. This is something where you guys probably at this point, you're definitely in the Infinite Rainbow section, but
Yeah.
you're making your way around to the Rainbow Tracks.
Yeah, we're pretty close. Some of them lived.
They did. But I made sure they are not going to talk.
You better. If the rest of the group was there, that's a problem. That ties you to them. I know you were the Chateau at the time. But the rest of them... Then Rainn pauses and goes, actually, it might work. But that's...
How do you...
It might work better for Plan B.
Wow.
In case you're wondering, Plan B is where we sell them out and continue to go towards our boats of power.
Okay.
The plan I would rather not work on, but that sells them as dangerous to the city, even though I know what you were doing was noble. The flaw is, they all know who we are.
Do they, though?
No, I mean, Wind Whisper, Paul...
Oh, yes, they do.
And Serenity know who we are. We haven't been super open, but we've been open enough. We need to start tying up loose ends.
We do. If any of them decide to be open about my secret, they will have to deal with the consequences.
Yes. We'll have to figure that out.
Smell a double cross.
We have no intention to cross them unless we have to.
Yes. This is just preparing for all outcomes.
This is Delsin and Rainn.
Besides, there's going to be a double cross, and then there's going to be double cross to the double cross. And,
Rainn's
you son of a bitch, chime in.
yeah.
Classic Heist twist.
Rainn's gonna look back at Delsin and be like, in the end all, I want 2 promises from us. We don't sell out each other. And we do whatever we can to protect Andy.
You care about him, don't you?
We dated for a while. He's one of the few people who've left my life. And Rainn probably sounds a little, I can't replicate the tone. I can feel it in my soul, but I can't replicate it well enough in her voice. Of, you know, like, that emotional tone. Of, he's one of the few that came back.
I understand. We'll do one of those arm shakes again.
Yeah.
You have a deal. I promise.
Thank you.
You guys see just down the alleyways, just somebody stumbles into a wall and kind of, he said it's further down the alleyway, but looks like a drunkard and 2 rats come running out from something he crashed into, running through the alleyway.
Is Pitch with me, or did I send Pitch off already?
You sent Pitch off again earlier after Paul's to go try.
Okay, I'm gonna whistle for Pitch, so that way, hopefully, maybe the bird finds me as I walk to the bar. I'm bringing the bird to a bar. This is a terrible choice. This is so I'm having the bird go and pickpocket the bar, so I'm gonna win.
We should make our way to the Rainbow Tabaxi.
I agree.
And back out onto the streets, making your way quietly through the city, not drawing any sort of attention. And the short distance left until the Rainbow Tabaxi, we will end at session 20, part A, right here. See where the rest of the Lucky Sync ends up tomorrow.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do all kinds of chaos. Ours is like a fun roleplay session that was fun, and like there's a little bit of like drama, like who's Rainn, and like who is Delsin gonna flip out his mother?
Delsin does some rogue shit, finding some information on his father, tying him to different organizations throughout the city.
Rainn begins feeling bad that Delsin's sister is kind of fucking indoctrinated, and it's like, oh, poor girl, you're so bright and funny. Yeah. But like,
Delsin and Rainn now have to keep in front that they're dating.
Only to her parents. We'll have to tell the rest of the party that and be like, hey, we're faking this. So this has been a thing for a while.
Imagine if Andy gets jealous.
Oh, I get a little jealous. Not a lot, just enough to be like. Well, also, I had originally said, Andy, you're gonna go to the gala with me. We're supposed to go together, so he's gonna get a little sad about that, I think.
But we'll square that other.
That means we have even more extra invitations.
Yeah, you guys got extra invitations, so
we have 3 extra at this point.
You're gonna have to have a lot of planning in the night to come, but that will all come after session 20, part B tomorrow. We'll be having that sometime probably. We aim for 4. It's probably going to be 4:30 or 5 after everything. But
it should be 4 because we're not doing anything tomorrow.
Keep up to date on Twitter. Follow us at NatDisasterDND. And same thing on Instagram for videos, pictures, uploads, things like that of favorite moments throughout all of our sessions. Please, like I said, we want to get to Twitch affiliate. We need 8 more followers to get that. And our channel can get a little bit more promoted. Also on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. I'm stealing that for just a second from the Dry Bread on YouTube. But yeah, subscribe, like, comment, let us know what you think. And yeah, join us tomorrow for another disaster. Have a good night, guys.
Good night, guys. This was a fun session.
Good night.
End card. Transition.